do is just focus on the task at hand, and I think if it goes like the way of Astralis and Spirit you said earlier, then they do actually make it through, but that's all in the future. For the here and now, you just got to do your best to go on the server and perform. And I think one of the reasons why we kind of gone back and forth on this is like it could be quite a close game. Like I don't think that there is an obvious favorite in this. No. Even if you kind of go slightly with 9 Pandas, there is definitely a way that NiP can win this too.
Absolutely. I think there is. You know, it could be a scrappy series. I would say, I think maybe 3 maps out of this one, but we'll take it as it comes. We'll strap in. Come along for the ride, everyone. Last day of the RMRs here for the Perfect World Major in Shanghai. NiP taking on 9 Pandas. First map is going to be Ancient. CT side start for the Pandas. Disbalance, trying to turn the flash, but a little bit too late. But the distraction buys time for Glowing, and he shines bright in the pistol for now. Keeps it going as well. And that's a lovely quick one, right in the bag for 9 Pandas. All right, Vince.
Huge. A player that is normally pretty solid for 9 Pandas, who's had, as I mentioned before, an eerily quiet tournament. To put it in perspective, he is the lowest performing player that is still in the event, other than Fear, who's over on Passion UA. Apart from that, he is second bottom. He's the 5th bottom player overall in this RMR at 0.77. So the fact that he's popped off already could be a very good omen.
Yeah, like we were touching on it right as well, because for Disbalance, for Glowing, it felt like they've been pretty quiet. Rounds where you'd still expect them to find impact, they weren't hitting the mark as well. So a round like that, waking up early in the morning, it can feed the hot hands a little bit. Sometimes players need those. You know, you've had your stats a little bit, get yourself into the groove of the game. It wakes you up. Shalfie starts it off onto Mistum as well as he goes walking out and gets picked up instantly. So NiP on this one with a single flash for Isaac, looking for a quick pop play, see if they can get the bomb down. That's the dream scenario, but you have to bypass this MP9, and it is feeding time at the bomb site.
Everything I just said as well, like obviously this is an anti-eco, so take it with a pinch of salt, but Disbalance is the 2nd worst player in terms of this lineup. You're looking at Diladez, who popped off massively the first time we casted them. I think it was against VP, if I'm not mistaken, over on Ancient, I believe. And since then, it's like he's been okay, but we've seen Resort really come to the forefront. The player that we kind of anticipated to be this monstrous unit when it comes to 9 Pandas. Very good rifle player.
We can delve more into the stats later, but for now, we'll focus on the full frontal attack that seems to be set up here by NiP. Resort, the man you touched on, he's looking to fight down through mid. A lot of control here towards mid side, but they're already in the bomb site. This with a fast entry. Ooh, would have bet him to win that one, but Glowing. The good start in the pistol was followed on into the rifle round. Only the one, though, as Isaac comes knocking on the door. And they're back into the 4 versus 4. Bomb plant down. You're looking for the retake. Backstab potential from Shalfie, but Disbalance has got to hold the line. And the MP9 is finding impact.
Spitting bullets and claiming names. It's going to be a backstab as well. Shalfie putting Rez into a really awkward position. Also had a pretty good tournament, but he will not have any further standing in this round. 9 Pandas, successful retake. First rifle round going in their favor. And NiP on the back foot.
And weirdly, we could get a similar storyline, actually, to the run that Glowing went on back in the last chance qualifier. You remember with Copenhagen, right? Yeah. He kind of went berserk. He was posting a huge rating, things like 1.46, 1.74 impact, well over 100 AGR. Obviously, he's just been absent this event for them. So the fact that he was such a shining light there in Copenhagen, that's why we were trying to draw these contrasts. So it's good to see him winning out on these duels. I was even thinking like Mistum with the push up there. Favour him to win that duel. The fact he's showing that he can go toe-to-toe today, and in a very important game as well, where you do just have to keep on winning at this point. It paints a better picture. Scrappy start towards mid. Disbalance with the orb, tacked down to 13, so he's going to posture off. But there's the peek from Diladez. And he's spotting everything on this. Tons of info. Not ready for the run through the smoke for Rez. And they're bringing this round back alive. The Lazarus effect here. Down to just 2. Glowing and Disbalance. Let's see if they can do it again here, Vince. They get a read towards mid-side. Glowing looking to take the peak, and Cindery's going to make it uncomfortable for him. He's got to tuck in behind the doors. Spamming in the backline, getting tags out, but no kills.
Disbalance down to 13. At least has the benefit of knowing where one of these 3 players are, but with so much time left, they can easily retrieve the bomb, drop back at the double doors, and fast track over on the site for a post plant. So looking like a save on 9 Pandas at best case scenario. Just making sure that he's not hiding in the cave. Especially as his teammates aren't really with him to bodyguard. It could get really awkward, you know, if he goes for the plant, gets shut down, then maybe a defuse comes in. So understandable, they're just being ever so careful. Oh, the timing. Brutal. And Astralis will not be able to save the AWP. Now, they've got plenty of funds to come back in, but if it would be a secondary AWP in play for Astralis, it would have to be a glass cannon. And at this kind of standing in the game where there's going to be a few grenades missing here and there, I'm not necessarily sure that's the play. So I think he's gone for the A1S instead.
And this is the round that NiP win as well, right? Going into it with a very scrappy setup. Just the Deagle's Tech 9 single rifle. They find impact towards mid. Rez runs through the smoke. So as much as Diladez had all the info, you're overwhelmed. So reinvestment comes back out. Concessions made minor in terms of the utilities. There's a couple gaps there late round for 9 Pandas. No defuse kit either. So they just take it headstrong. Resort scrapping down mid. Very aggressive game from their CT side setups. That's the AWP of Wrinkle taken out of the game before he can even find impact with a weapon that he's known for.
It's kind of aggression that can really stamp your authority down on Ancient early doors. And if we were worried about maybe nerves creeping in, then it seems like 9 Pandas aren't feeling them just yet. Taking the fights, happy to get in the thick of it. And Shalfie has had a lot of impact on the mid side. He's been Molotov'd off, not going to spread to him, so doesn't need to utilize that smoke, can keep it to actually fend away. Downside of this, though, is it does allow the T's to have more control over middle. With 55 seconds left, they're starting to slowly move their way up on the ramp. Astralis does have the off angle, but a flash could neutralize this position completely.
They're going for the boost up on the back as well. You're just jump spotting there for glowing. Luckily enough, the shot misses. So Astralis can get himself into a better position, play off one another here with the crossfire. Peek out good, no real response. Tagging, slowing down Isaac as well. Swings back, but he's so low on health. It's quick trades. 3 versus 2. Ooh. Up close and personal with the AWP. Wields it like a shotgun. Blows away Disbalance. Fast swing as well. And an over flick from Yokab there, wielding Wrinkle's AWP. So it's all down to Rez once again. 17 seconds on the timer. You've got to get the bomb. 2 angles to contend with. One of them being held by Resort on the walkout. Missed shot. They close it. Put a lid on the game.
Yeah, just 40 HP as well. Needed that insta entry. Didn't come through. Small little cheer across from 9 Pandas, knowing that they've managed to break down the economy somewhat, but there will be another buy-in from the T's. So NiP want to make sure that they facilitate this buy as best as possible by getting Exist involved. But yeah, this mid control has been a consistent issue. We haven't really seen like a crunch over on Cat yet through cave and ramp pushes. That's probably a play that's going to be up the sleeve of 9 Pandas at some point. And it's likely very cognizant of this fact from NiP. When do they want to push? Or are they just going to dial it back a little bit? We saw Shalfie that last round not really get aggressive, play a lot more passively at the top of red. Playing the mind games a tad. It's up to NiP to try and break the deadlock now.
Second AWP on the T-side campaign for Mr. Wrinkle. And there's a big AWP disparity between both of these. For Wrinkle and Astralis, one of them is a huge performer for the team. The other one hasn't really been able to find his form over the course of this event. Wrinkle's been going for twice the amount of opening duels that Astralis has. And again here, you see why. He's quick with these, even missing the initial shot, but favoring himself for the follow-up. If Glowing walks back into cave, he's a dead man. Knowing it's compromised, he's going to post up inside of the cubby. And Shalfie towards Red Room. Got the timing on this one. Finds Yokab smoke relatively deep as well, so there's a gap he can play around on this. Might even fancy his chances going for the swing back out, doubles up. Shalfie with 2.
Yeah, you nailed it, man. That smoke was too deep. Shallow could just go out for the... Shalfie, I should say, should just go out for the peak on the shallow approach, and I'm not even sure Rez had any idea that that was a possibility. Glowing has also shut down Mistem, so for all of Wrinkle's early work with the tag and then the follow-up kill, it looks like it may be for naught. And yeah, I mean, Astralis has been the AWPer that we've looked at time and time again. We've casted him already. He had a very flat game, didn't really have any impact whatsoever. But in the early doors of this game, it's been going his way. It's actually Wrinkle that's been struggling a little bit more. He hasn't had the AWP a great deal, obviously. The economy hasn't really allowed him to fully flourish with it just yet, but still very early days in this best of 3, of course. A lot can change. For this round, though, it does appear it's going to be a save into a 5-1 scoreline on the side of 9 Pandas.
Back it off, hold on to what you've got. Go back into the next. And this was with Wrinkle going for that fast hit on Cave. The only frag they found into the round. Obviously, the response back was the peek out from Shalfie at mid. He'll take that one. Glowiing dropping the love hearts. So ideal opener into their CT side. This was the pick from Wrinkle on the run-in. And then, of course, Shalfie with the closer towards mid with the double up.
So a buy is pretty much non-existent. It's Deagles alongside the two safe weapons. NiP as well, remember, they did call that tactical timeout. Nothing really went their way, but you have to feel like a key pivotal moment in that round actually was the flubbed smoke into the peak that basically shut down mid and gave 9 Pandas a fantastic advantage. So these little small mistakes can cost you so dearly at this level of CS. Missed them out in the meanwhile though, but Result there to send him packing with the AK. And although Wrinkle is boosted up and Glowiing is low, you can't quite finish it off just yet.
It's Dilladez as well, that's the insurance policy. Wrinkle's looking for the cave run out, the verticality's going to throw him off, so Dilladez can run straight in. Even spamming on the fight through the doors here, softens up Isaac massively. Hinging on a pick towards the B bomb site. And that's not there. Constricting them now as well with the advanced positioning. You got trapped by the doors. You go running out from this, so many crosshairs, you can get blown to bits. They're still looking to try and fight on it as well. Headshot angle for Isaac. But even dragging these guns into the next is a limited opportunity for them.
The only thing that may allow them the chance to maybe save the AK is that the economy of 9 Pandas not fully established on a few. The fact they've put out Yokab and dropped the bomb. Seems like Isaac wants to fight for this one, and Dilladez will oblige. Another convincing, straightforward round. Sure, it was against, for the most part, just Deagles. But already a second timeout called. NiP clearly feeling the pinch. Missed them, yet to get off the mark on 0-6.
It feels like NiP needs to start putting out the milk cartons with his face on the back. Because Mistem's missing. Where is he? He's had opportunities as well, Vince. Like some of the aggressive angles he's gotten himself into, right? Just not happening, though. And that's the worry. As much as, like, obviously you look at it and statistically we can back up I disbalance effectively as the more passive AWPer. You know, he's waiting for things to happen, whereas Wrinkle is the one that's instigating the plays. Both of the times he's had the AWP, it was only the one pick inside a cave where he goes for these quick pathing hits, plays a lot of spawns, plays a lot of intuition. But when he's not got that AWP, it's a drop-off. And you can see here, of course, you haven't got the money to afford it with how this has been going so far. So Galil's in play, tons of util at least. But what do they change? How do they set this up? The fights towards mid have been relatively back and forth. 2 players on elbow. You've got utility to work with. Deep nades thrown in from 9 Pandas on the B hit. This balance this time, he's the only one situated towards B with a quick rotate from Glowiing if they do suspect a push is coming, but a lot more aggressive with their setup on mid side. You're going to go for the late flash out, see if they can run in. Again, sets up that duo. Shalfie with support. It's Dilladez that's inside a donut this time.
I think his mix of pace has really kind of caught NiP in an awkward spot as well. A lot of aggression in those first 3 or so rounds, especially the rifles. And now slowing it way more down. The grenade blows open the smoke, and Dilladez from Donut pivots in for 3. Sending this round into the blender one more time. NiP can do nothing. I almost feel sorry for Wrinkle. It's like we're kind of discussing how little impact he's had, but when you have the AWP and your teammates are just crumbling around you like this, you don't really have control over any area of the map. Even when they smoke off red, it's like Shalfie is still finding ways to have impact. He didn't get on the scoreboard, but he's weakening up multiple players there in the process.
Dilladez dealing death. Huge play. And yeah, I mean, he also just draw their attention, right? Like they break the smoke, everyone suddenly flicking their crosshairs towards red room. He gets the tag out, you swing out, because Dilladez has been going for those rotates out through cave side as well. This is a bit quicker. Fast play, you've got Tech 9, you're going to run in, use the flashbang, spawns over the top, see if you can smoke off Donut and CT. 1-for-1 trade, but he gets a rifle. Advanced position inside of Donut as well. And Dilladez. He shows off his position, I disbalance, spotting out onto the Tech, trying to bait out the shot. Leg goes too deep. Mac-10 responds back from Wrinkle. He really wants to grab that off, but it's too deep in there. Oh, might not matter though. The sidearm gets the job done. Diladez is going to set up Glowing with a flash over the top. Glowing can go for the walkout. But they've cut noise on this one. They're posturing off as well, so no need to commit to the plant. They've been able to get 2 weapons off the back of this. Isaac grabbed that AK from inside a donut. Wrinkle's got his hands on the big green gun as well. And you can walk back from this. And the longer they cut time, cut noise, you're thinking, okay, maybe they're wrapping off. They're going to go for the late B hit on this. They've got enough time to go for it. So Wrinkle's hoping one of them pushes for the info play on A main. He hits that shot, and then they can make their decision.
I think it's just so uncomfortable as well when you have the smoke start to fade and Wrinkle's got the AWP, so he's a little bit less mobile. I want to try and mix it up here. Try and draw away one of 9 Pandas while they go for that fast rotation. I say fast, it's been pretty labored, but it's about to have to pick up pace because there's not that much time left on the clock. 25 seconds flash in. Oh, Wrinkle fully blinded and Diladez takes him out in midair. However, this bait has paid off in the sense that the post plant now is able to come through. Isaac playing up close will try to catch the CTs in an awkward spot, and if they line up, this could go down real quick for Isaac. Spray is through, 5 bullets left, but that's more than enough. And NiP has stolen this round away. Had Tech9s coming into it, but they picked up their second of the map.
A successful heist going into it with Mac-10 and Tech9 for that duo. And Wrinkle picking up both of these, important for him. Isaac, of course, winning out the fight towards Donut as well. That's how he got his AK back in his hands. So heavily committed, believing it was going to be a late walk back in. A bit of a bait where they'd return towards the A site. Wrinkle keeps them on the bomb site. He gets the plant off, and then he's so close ahead that he can close down the round. That's 1 of 2 they've been able to secure over the course of this so far, though. Need more of a buffer to play with. Warps back out for Wrinkle again on the reinvestment. Missed him on the cross. Gets spammed in by Diladez. But there's Wrinkle. Blind, still fragging. Glowing, blown to bits. Spam back through. I know about Diladez's positions. They commit with the spam. Little chips through the wood, bringing him down to 19. 4 versus 4 here. Tons of time on the clock.
Lots of damage traded between Idis Balance and Isaac. Got to feel sympathy for Mistem. His 0-8 just gets pierced through the smoke. Isaac, though, has opened a way forward over onto the A site. They're going to exploit this instantaneously. 9 Pandas already setting up as though they want to save. Understandable, considering 2 of their 3 players are exceptionally low. And although their finances would be good for another buy, they want to hold on to these weapons so they can get a full-on utility belt alongside it. And play for those last 2 rounds of the half. So, good news for NiP, though, is it hasn't been a complete collapse. Yes, this T side has looked pretty shaky at best. They have 3 rounds already, and who's to say they don't end up with 5, which would be a great recovery, all things considered. Isaac's having a storm of a game as well. He's up to 10. Some big entries in these last few rounds. Looks like 9 Pandas will be afforded the luxury of a save.
NiP needed some sort of comeback into this game. A string of rounds towards the tail end of the first half could be enough to wake them back up. Felt like you were pushing up daisies, you know, they're just going down again and again. But finally, a little bit of fight brought back. Isaac with 10 kills, missed them. Still struggling to bring himself onto the board, though. Not off the starting block yet. Orbs back out for Idis Balance. You've got those saved AK as well to work with in the hands of Resort. A man that I thought we would see really, you know, going blow for blow in a game like this, Vince. But again, he's been relatively quiet. It's a lot more of the squad dealing the damage for him. Instant molly around the corner onto elbow, make it uncomfortable for Wrinkle. He's trying to play on the periphery of it. Resmoke goes in, so they've got to give up the angle. Can't really hold on that one. So Resort, maybe this is the round where he comes alive.
Flashed into the peak, the smoke's in the way. However, he can close the gap. Looking to constrict on the cap for the time being, and they have forced back the T's. Now, one problem the T's have been suffering with time after time is entry frags. They've only picked up 1 opening duel in the entirety of this map. In 10 rounds, 1 time it's gone in their favor, and that was to Wrinkle. Shalfie has 3 by himself on middle. It's one of the reasons reasons why this T side has felt pretty toothless, like it's been lacking punch. Because they've always been playing from behind for the most part. Will this round fare any differently?
Well, that AWP provides this balance. It was on the A side playing behind the box. He used his smoke, called in for the rotate, switches off. Now he's playing deep on mid side, holding up, seeing if they come walking out late. And that is the call they're going to go for. It's a split push towards the B-bomb site. The Glowing's advanced position could be so impactful, but the flashbangs ruin him. First one's in, Resort. He's been biding his time for this, but no success. There is the connection back. Up close, the AWP provide this balance, sending Isaac off kilter. He's connected onto Wrinkle with a nice shot, and Rez as well, holding his own with the AK. All on Shalfie.
Oh, headshot straight away, missed them. On the board and doubles up. And NiP now with 4 rounds. And obviously, Captain Obvious, in terms of 4 rounds, still not great on the T side of Ancient, but considering the vast deficit they were facing down not that long ago, quite the recovery, and it could get just that little bit better because the finances on 9 Pandas is so grim that they're going to have to call a tactical timeout to make sure they spend every single cent allocated to them. I've already seen an MP9 and an AWP in play, but they could be lacking a couple nades here and there. So NiP, like you said, they had to start waking up. They had to start grinding their way back in. Well, they have. They've put the foundations down. A lot of that's been Isaac, but Rez in that last round showed us a little bit of something. Yeah, just a HE for glowing on an MP9, a smoke, an IDIS balance, a FAMAS, and not too much in terms of kits, just the one for Shalfie. It is grim, but we've seen 9 Pandas do a lot more with a lot less.
We can see NiP here this time around throwing the utility in for the setup of an idea of a fast hit towards the B site, when in reality you've got Wrinkle and the rest of the squad grouping up, going contact up through main. He was pre-scoped, no audio cue. Is Shalfie looking for the run out? Oh. Sees the walk in, but no real response back and no utility for them there. So they can't slow it down. They've secured the site. Resort in Donut needs to win on this one. It's missed him with the bomb as well. So you take him down here. Bomb could go flying. It'd make it a bit more uncomfortable. Instead, that's how missed them. Respond straight back, glowing with a bullet between the eyes as well. Shalfie being forced out. Wrinkle was holding for the cross. Misses the shot, but he's still making it rough for them. Down to the retake on this one. It's going to get real wild. Tees in great positions, and Wrinkle ruining them with the AWP. Felt like that was their easiest round yet. One casualty on missed them on the fight towards Donut, but they pick it up. And a good recovery on the half there, looking really flat initially. Feeling like they were losing out on their jewels, unable to really convert from these rounds. Shalfie was feasting at mid. Longer it goes on though, they start to get into the groove of the game here. 7-5 could still be anyone's game.
Oh, it's definitely up for grabs now. It's up for debate. It's very one-sided, and NiP just looked flat, dejected almost. Exist had to get involved twice and eventually start to see some success. But you said it looked uncomfortable. Result looks uncomfortable to me. The trade he just lost out to miss them in Donut, he had the angle, he had everything going in his favor, but his aim was completely off. And again, the reason why we highlight that is because he's typically their best player pretty much. Like, he's the guy you look at when it comes to rifles to be the rock-solid component of this roster. So if he's having a bit of a rough one, that could be a problem, especially on the T side.
And the difference the Jewel could have made as well in the scheme of the round. Especially with Mistum having the bomb on his back in that encounter. He had backup, sure, but if you make it messy, could have bought more time for the rotate, who knows. All said and done though, we'll put that in the past, focus on the present. Where's the pistol prowess today? Round 13 going live. All USPs with investment into the smoke and the kit for Mistum. Armor on the rest of the squad for NiP. 2 players with utility here, setting themselves up for the late B hit. Smoke off either side, block that off, go for the Molotov onto the cubby, so they can't come running out through cave. The Wrinkle, he's biding his time. Goes for a quick info play, postures back through the smoke. They've been able to take control of the bomb site, but maybe not for long. Rez, smoke shot in. Hits the face of glowing. Shalfie's forced to recover it. That's another tag to slow him down. So bomb only just being planted.
Oh, Dilladez on 4 HP as well, and he has been the shining light, the talisman so often at this event. So he's going to have to play more of a bait and try and get Result activated, but instead he's been put down. Disbalance in all of this time, though, he's been playing on the ramp side. Eventually, Dilladez is forced to meet his maker, and Yokab on the cross will double up to seal NiP's pistol round. And that was some nice shots through the smoke, as he's saying. Like, obviously, it really did kind of wind down. But again, Result had chances off the box. Yeah. Dilladez was baiting him in to get activated in for a couple kills, and this is the trade there. He lands pretty much nothing. You expect him to get a kill or two out of that spot.
More energy there for NiP now. They know that's a big round to win. And fair play to Yokab as well, doing his due diligence on the clear. Obviously, go for the two-player setup on the box with low HP or on top. You're hoping those teams wouldn't expect there to be a second person in that position. Trying to play to his strengths with how low on HP he was, but doesn't really pay off. Contact play here towards the A site. Off the bomb plant, investment where they could. Isaac's the sole defender. Quick reposition for Wrinkle as well. He's on his way back around, but again, comes back to haunt them. Haven't got that utility to slow down the push. You're favoring the rifles on this one. All the attention drawn by Wrinkle. It's a double up as well. Handling this brilliantly. You can equalize the game off this. Everyone's going to overwhelm on the peek back out. Another 2 frags for Yokab. He's quiet on the T side. Comes alive here off the back of the pistol into the preceding round. Good play from Wrinkle and Isaac on the site. So no steal away bomb plant for 9 Pandas there. 7-7, it is tied.
Tied up, but the advantage now firmly in favor of NiP because 9 Pandas can't do too much about this, just some deagles. Credit to NiP, man, like to have the resilience to bounce back after a really shambolic first 5 or 6 rounds. Starting to share the burden as well. It's not just Isaac, but Wrinkle now starting to pop off on the CT side. Like you mentioned, Yokab, couple of good rounds. And Rez is always going to be a threat. HG designated to A main. Ooh, Dilladez though removes the cap of Isaac, and that does give them a way forward, but Yokab is looking to try and deny this bomb plant. M4 also taking it in amongst all of it, and the smoke put down onto Donut. Needs Wrinkle now to step up and deliver a couple of kills from this spot, but it's Misten that joins him. Dilladez with yet another deagle in this round, although he's down to 32. If he can pull that trigger one more time and connect, everything could come unraveled for NiP. The timing for Shalfie on this approach, though, has caught Rez in an awkward spot, and he expects it, though. He does his due diligence, clears the angle, and gives NiP the advantage once more.
Deagle D's nips, but only for 2. Can't get any more on that one as he walks into the crosshair of Mistum. And Disbalance, oh, the aim punch, sending his crosshair off kilter. Knows his best chance now is to commit to the plant. HG goes flying over the top, so no damage back from that. They might think he's really low. He's going to try and play on the anti-flash angle close inside a cave. They all go in together so they can double up for it. Off angle and the peek out gets one. Don't give them the 1v1 here, boys. They're running in by 1. Oh, out of ammunition on the A1S. Had to switch to the other gun. Would have just been the Glock there. Close, but no cigar. Makes it uncomfortable, though. At least getting the weapons out of their hands. And otherwise, it would have been a pretty clean round, right? Like Dilladez, 2 nice frags there on the deagle. Then you bring it right down to the 1v1. It's the economy. It's still there, but it's not as big as it could have been. They're not buffering it as much. These are the rounds that matter, though, Vince. Reinvestment comes back out. You get the AKs, AWP in the hands of Disbalance, AWP for Wrinkle as well. Now, CT side, as much as it might not have been as much of a show-stopping game in his T half, on their CT side, I prefer the way he plays on Ancient. You will see that intuition, those aggressive plays. Takes a lot of deep control towards A main, always wrapping around the back. He goes for these very characteristic calls. It's Yokab on mid, looking for the fight, though. He can just post up in the close angle here, trying to take control of Elbow. Missed them running down the ramp, and Shalfie holds it. Nice response back, but Shalfie still standing. Flick onto the head of Rez, and that's that duo, Rez and Wrinkle. They love to play off one another, try and get control of the map, but the real control is on the A-bomb site, and that's now 9 Pandas.
Disbalance is pretty much putting this round into their back pocket. NiP can do nothing to weather this storm, this hurricane that's just blown over the A site. Kills back to back. Map control attained as well. Wrinkle couldn't really get fully into this one. And Isaac, how he wishes he could try and tap on that bomb, but he has no kit. Prospects for the full defuse extremely low. And iDisbalance is watching from A main. So if he goes for that cross, he could be in a spot of bother. Down he goes. iDisbalance continuing his fine form up to 15. And 9 Pandas, as you mentioned, there was a buy coming in from NiP, but this is really where that 4K round into a post plant actually catches up with NiP and haunts them. Because now you're down to a really garbage economy where you're probably having to force buy, and it's going to be 5-7s, a 1M4 in play. This is 9 Pandas' golden opportunity to take this map and make it theirs.
Yeah, it's ebbed and flowed. We saw a real rough start for NiP. They're starting to get back into the groove of the game, but as you touched on, with how uncomfortable it was going down to just one player, it's burned through their economy. Yokap looking for the fight here. Quick adjustment shots from Wrinkle as well on the 5-7, playing off the utility setup from Isaac. So it's a good opening 2 picks. Play your cards close to your chest, though. Don't give this one away. Diladez Molotoved in so he can take an advanced position inside a temple. iDisbalance playing for the run out through Donut. They want to try and bait them in with the nades. Only sees one. Resort paranoid about it. You could tap onto the bomb, try and draw the peek out, but do they know about Wrinkle's position? He might be low on health, but he can still frag with a 5-7 and the fairy tale, taking us in the direction of a round for Wrinkle. Reading them like a book, but the problematic trades leave us back in the 2v2, and it's all on the young Wrinkle. AK the play with, can he fold them up? Needs to spray on the peak round. A slow face into Disbalance would be death, but he can just posture off. Still a minute on the clock. It's up to him to make the move, and the bomb is down on the site.
Time is going to have to be the ally of iDisbalance. You have to feel, but the problem is he's not been quick enough on the draw. He turns around just in time and nails Wrinkle. It was a round that NiP should have never been close in. And they nearly punished 9 Pandas, but iDisbalance, he had that game sense just come through. It looked like he was going to be pushing onto the site and was going to get backstabbed, but just turned around in the nick of time.
Playing for the bomb, thinking that he'd go for the plant. Wrap off, leave himself susceptible to the backstab, just play off the audio cue for the peek in. Doesn't work out. Wrinkle thought that fairy tale would have a happy ending, but not this time. So pause call back in, second of the game being used for 9 Pandas.
Yeah, and the problem here as well for NiP is like you want to be super hype about the fact you just took 4 players down and you know you're on this force buy of really awkward 5-7s, but you have no finances now to punish. So you basically have got so close, but now you just have to watch as 9 Pandas build up their economy one more time. It's full USPs. There's realistically nothing that should be attained or gained or any kind of reward in this round for NiP. For all intents and purposes, this is a formality of a round with 9 Pandas taking 10. So you got so close, but it doesn't end up mattering in the short game.
Bombsite compromised, audio cue being gathered. It hinges on Glowing here to close it down with a backstab. They're looking all Wolfpack out through Donut and mid-side. Attention drawn, he can go back in for the backstab. Yokap keeps locked on it. Oh dear, oh dear. Don't give them an inch, boys. They're grabbing themselves guns as well. You could just run away with those. Doesn't really matter about the round. Gives you the 2 AKs to play with off the back of 5 USPs on this.
Ignore what I said, Jackie. It should, that being the key word. It doesn't mean that it will. Yeah, you're spot on. You save those 2 AKs, and that is a great takeout of this round. Sure, you're still 10-8 behind. 9 Pandas is still in a pretty damn good position, but this should have been a nothing burger of a round. Like, this should just be NiP bowing out. Instead, 2 AK-47s trading hands. 9 Pandas are going to be disappointed with that. And it was really, like, weird, shoddy peaks as well. Like, I think it was Glowing that peeked out from elbow, just got completely nuked by USP, and then another player peeks out from Cat, but they know there's multiple players stacked in mid. It's just odd decision-making.
He's hoping that everyone's focusing up on the peak there towards lane side. He can just mow him down with the AK, but Yokap is ready for that. Nice shots with the USP. So a far stronger buy coming back into it. Glass Cannon AWP for Wrinkle. And this is what he does on these kind of rounds. You'll see him very aggressive in towards A main. They'll try and take space if it goes a bit quiet. Instead, he just holds the line. And Riesel going to be salty off the back of that one. They try and hit it quick into B. Missed them in the close angle. If they fight towards cave side, he's now got support as well. And Wrinkle's arriving on the scene. Another round from him. Death being dealt by Mistum as he'll hit all those. And I disbalance left in round 19, all on his Todd. Just one man left with an AWP in his hands, and Isaac's pushing out on the extremities. Might be able to find him here with a quick tap.
I think he heard the footsteps, he knows. The same can be said the other way around. They both ran into each other. Playing around the angle to perfection. No saved guns out of this. 9 Pandas can buy again, but glowing down at $2,000. They elect not to go for a double AWP setup. There was the opportunity to pick up the AWP from Balance at the end, but Isaac is happy enough to hold on to the AK. Fully understandable, and they know the importance of that round. 2 super slick shots, by the way, from Wrinkle. Like, just runs around the corner and just snaps somebody back. It's kind of crazy how quick he is in those flicks.
That's what we're saying, like the statistical difference between their play styles, Balance and Wrinkle, how those AWPers have very fundamental different ways of playing Counter-Strike 2. Wrinkle's always going to be aggressive, always wrap himself in these sort of scenarios. Even Glass Cannon there. Difference of missing the shot hinges on basically his teammate to slow down the push if they came barreling in, but good first pick, wraps off, expects the hit towards B on the response, only seeing the one. Now he's got all the extra bells and whistles on top of it. Situated in Donut this time. Haven't really said Rez's name too much, but he's inside a cave here. 2 players trapped outside. Smoke wall goes up on the A main walkout, so they posture off from it. Deep smoke thrown in. They want to fight towards mid here. It's going to be Wrinkle, Rez, and Yocap in position to defend. Molly round on the corner, expecting the close angle. Will they know about the next man in line? Able to get the spray off for one. They're going for the hit onto the B site now. Cave control conceded. Wrinkle's got to wrap round the back. But look at Mistum. Here inside of the smoke. He's just sitting on top of him. Walks for the run out. They might not expect this whatsoever. He's going to phase back through. It can line them up for 2. Damage done. It's a round you can get your way back into now. Paranoia for the Pandas. Isaac might be caught by Disbalance if he goes in through cave, but they want to buddy up. 2 players, round through ramp. You got the Incendiary, a flashbang to set them up on contact, and the bomb's only just gone down.
They're moving together. Trying to trade out, but Result has the angle here. How fast is Wrinkle? Fast enough. And now Balance realizes the situation is bleak. Nails the AWPer on the approach. Flash out, bomb tickled. Could force Balance out to the open. And Isaac takes him down. NiP continue to fight, continue to stay in this game, and tie us back up at 10 apiece.
NiP took that 2-0 versus TSM on this very map. It was the second in the series, a 16-13 overtime win. So they're no strangers to games getting out of hand, but being able to find answers back. And Disbalance forced into the play with the Molotov, runs around the corner, bested. If NiP weren't really showing signs of energy early on into this one, they've just been getting louder and louder, and more Wrinkle plays are starting to don the screen. 19 kills to his name. Quick hit here, but Wrinkle always ready. Snapshot across, Riesel down in the dirt. Missed him on the back off, but Rez ready to rumble. Able to deal with another one. Keep those pistols out of arm's reach. They can't get up close and be lethal, and Rez ruins them. 3 quick kills for him there. Solid hold on the bomb site. They went for a quick hit with a low buy, but no success, no money made.
And the problem here is, as you mentioned, it's a low buy, but there's another low buy available if they want to take it. And 3rd timeout called because you're 11-10 down. If you decide to half buy again here, you're eyeing up potentially playing for OT. This is a really awkward spot to be in if you are 9 Pandas. I'm sure they were anticipating, like, we're going to rush the site, we're going to get a plant down, then we're going to secure ourselves rifles into the next. Didn't happen.
No.
You get shut down completely by Wrinkle and Rez on the site, and now you are forced to reassess the situation, which is looking increasingly grim with every passing second. 9 Pandas were in command. If you just joined the stream, they were 7-1 in the lead in the first half. They were in cruise control. NiP couldn't even get close. And yet here we stand. 9 Pandas have forced out a buy, but it's 2 MAC-10s, 3 Galils. Far from ideal.
The 20-second begins. 2 players waiting towards elbow. Quick hit. See if they can fight out mid here, potentially into the round. They've always been so paranoid about the cave setup, though, where NiP are keeping you guessing with who's in there, how they're playing it, if it's going to be aggressive or passive. This time, it's a deep smoke back in from Rez. If they want to go out for this mid-burst, it's Yocab with support of Isaac and Wrinkle inside of Donut, and they've even postured off the rotate back one towards Red Room as well, so you've got full control here on mid. You're going to fight your way through the entire team, and NiP, good for the opening picks. Brings it down to just 3. High disbalance. He's looking to pop flash in so they can fight inside a cave, but Wrinkle does not give a damn. Glowing's the only one in Red Room that hits the head. Just a duo remaining in the round. They could be on for match point here. Put Ancient in a position to close it. Go into Dust2, 1 map up and missed them on the timing. This should be bang to rights up against Xiaofi. Glowing. Although he's had a couple of nice rounds, it's not been that same level of lethality that we've seen from him previously. Not hitting the hot streak. And again, it's another one from Wrinkle, a hat trick. Consistent multi-kills from this AWPer.
And again, it's a shoddy economy for 9 Pandas to fall back onto. It could very well be a very similar purchase to what we just saw. Around the same kind of standing. You're looking at Galils, MAC-10s maybe. Someone to dip down to like a Deagle or a Tech-9 for extra utility. That's also a possibility, but... oh, it's so dire. And 9 Pandas will be kicking themselves if they lose this map. All the advantages. Tons of credit to NiP. In particular, that man, Wrinkle. He didn't have much impact in the first half, but my God, he has just bossed this CT side. And as they try and spill out into middle, they've taken a lot of damage onto Xiaofi. Glowing can't see anything as 2 smokes have plumed up on Red and Donut respectively, and he's looking to try and push through. Isaac is there, but he's in a bit of an awkward spot. Multiple players up against him. He's already dealt with 1, but that's where he will fall down. Rez now picks up the mantle, picks up the baton alongside Wrinkle, and smacked him back down to size with a 2K. Xiaofi last man standing on 3, and surely he can't clutch this round.
Clutch or bust, and the Galil is done. They close it down. NiP, slow start, but a great recovery. First map of Ancient is theirs. 1-0 up in the survival series.
Yes, what a comeback for NiP. Things were looking very bad at the start of Ancient. Able to take control in the game.
Still wasn't good enough on that second half.
And obviously you touched on those stats, right? For Dust2, 9 Pandas been looking absolutely dominant online. That's a 72% win rate over the course of 18 games played on this very map. But can you show up and do that again here? It's a different story. You can see them trying to fire themselves up a little bit. Last minute screams amongst the team, but we're ready to get into it. 2 opportunities to close this down for NiP. Survive their first test in today's run to the Shanghai Major. What have they got in store for us here on D2? CT side start.
I just want to see if Wrinkle's going to pop off again on the CT side, man. That was a masterclass on Ancient. They showed it. They talked about it on the desk. 8 multi-kill rounds, and most of them were on the CT side of just wrapping around corners and rinsing players left and right. Speaking of the man, he will be forced off his angle on catwalk from that Molotov. It allows 9 Pandas now to try and pick up the pace and the slack and get in their face, but there's 2 players around this corner. Flash is good. Very good, in fact, as Idisbalance and Dilladez both chip in for frags, and 1 player left on the site is missed them, but not for much longer. Oh, it's a clinical T-round on the pistol. And it doesn't seem like Isaac's going to be able to do too much out of this one. 1 kill, but mainly a consolation prize. Dink down, going to get finished off from the side by Result. And 9 Pandas, just so aggressive, not slowing down for anybody.
And that wasn't your usual Pandas on the round. That was the Red Pandas as they paint the town red, running up on short, might be blind, but still fragging and taking a lovely pistol there. So they get started into Dust2 with a nice clean opener, only the 1 casualty. We saw Diladez going wild before the game, Vince. He's getting even louder now. They've converted the pistol round. So good energy for the Pandas. Mid-call, though. They want to go running straight up, fight this one, get it a bit scrappy, see if you can make it uncomfortable. But the shooting gallery is easy pickings.
Yeah, indeed. They just wanted to get that one over and done with an NiP. They had nothing in the round, trying to catch 9 Pandas in a bit of an awkward spot, perhaps. Maybe if they were rushing long, wrap around the back of them. Doesn't really matter. The round is done in the blink of an eye, and it means that NiP can get their A1Ss in play. Obviously, the downside of this is that Wrinkle won't be on his AWP. It's always interesting to me as well to see how many AWPers on Dust2 especially opt for the early scouts. It's very viable. You see Woxic do this a lot, for example, on Dust2. Although you could argue Eternal Fire out 1 and 3, so maybe that's not the way to go after all.
Yeah, rough run at the RMRs for them. We saw Wakadia and Woxic both having struggle games. Major was trying as best as he could to drag them back into the action, but too tall of a task. No scouts here, though. All A1Ss with very limited utility for the NiP side. It's only Yocap that's got the smoke and the flash on close mid. And Rez walking up. He's going to go for the flash out short here. 1-for-1 off the back of Wrinkle's flash from the site. But 2 quick trades. Low HP on Glowing, sure, but you've still got the manpower advantage here.
I missed them. Once that smoke clears, could be in the thick of the action. The flash is good, but he's anticipated that, turned around. Not affects him in any way, shape, or form. And now with that peek out, Glowing on the close angle, the MAC-10. Oh, this could be a backstab. He gets one, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. There is a second player, though, down in lower tunnels. But Shalfie not quick enough to snatch back the life of Wrinkle, so he will live. Isaac perched up on the site again, all alone. It was, as you said, his clutch that really got NiP back into things, but no chance of that being a possibility in this one. Immediate headshots dispersed across the entirety of NiP, and they never really got into this round. And like we say, this is a real comfort pick for 9 Pandas. They love playing this map. They've played it a ton. They have a very good success rate on it. You're seeing this T side very calm, very collected, not rushing into anything.
That's why with how dominant early into Ancient it was, we were thinking there's a timeline here where 9 Pounders could set themselves up for a 2-0. That fell through the fingertips after NiP found a way to command respect back into the game. It doesn't get any easier though. For NiP, you're playing from the back foot here on Dust2 and potentially into Mirage as well, as the stats paint a bit of a damning picture for them. Haven't really got much to work from this one. Couple smokes, few deagles, P250. See if they can take control of the extremities. They push into upper. That's Glowing that was holding for it, but he's posturing off. Wants to join up with the rest of the squad that have taken the initial long control. Going for the hit out on the site. Isaac with the deagle. I mean, that's the first pick. Ibis Balance is able to cover it on the cross back, but you found at least 1 kill. Any more for NiP?
A bit of damage inflicted to a few players, but this is where the superior firepower really should start to shine. Resto with another deagle through the smoke. Going to be point blank range onto Result, but it won't be the shutdown. Instead, Result comes back in for another one. He's already up to 6-0. To put it in perspective on Ancient, he got 8 kills overall. Was rock bottom of the scoreboard in terms of ADR at 42. And for a star rifler to go missing at a key moment like that, it's important he makes amends here on Dust2, and so far that's exactly what he's done. 4-0 start looking so much better, but as we saw in Ancient, Exist calls the early timeout. They have a bye coming up. I would imagine Wrinkle probably is going to get his hands on an AWP. This is where things can start to turn around in their favor.
For context, it's best of 3. It's all about survival for both of these two teams. There is one case for both NiP and 9 Pandas for that automatic qualification to the Major through the 6th place, avoiding the 7th place decider. That's if you win your game, and then Astralis and Spirit both win their respective matchups. So a lot hinging on it. It's not only your result, it's the other teams as well. Oh, mate. I mean, he's trying to get the fast pick off. Let's just run straight down.
Shift out the way, man.
Can you move right, please? Like, I'm trying to pick. He still gets the kill. He gets the opener on the Yocap.
Just assert dominance next time, shoot him in the back of the head and say, listen, I was trying to shoot one of them. You know, you've got to learn your lesson one way or the other. That being said, this was a double up setup, by the way, in this round for NiP, and they've already lost one of them. Yocab was using the second. He's yet to get off the mark alongside Mistem, who is 0-9 on Ancient to kick things off. And 9 Pandas have totally bypassed this setup entirely. It is a full-on investment of huge proportions for the economy, additionally, after a tactical timeout. And you've just been slapped right across the face. Ooh. Okay, Rez is going to keep the dream alive, keep one of the AWPs in play, probably. But the round's pretty much already done. Like, NiP just can't get a foot in.
Yeah, this one's in the bin already. It is just about focusing on both of the weapons. So you're not going to be able to fight back early into the CT half. It's going to be 5 rounds on the board for 9 Pandas. And Resort yet to go down as well. 6-0. Mirroring the scoreline there of Disbalance. Heads up call from Rez, at least with a HE. You blow the AWP back to you. Thought you would still lose his fight on the close angle towards short as well. But quick reactions. You can give that back to Wrinkle in the next. So it could have been even worse, but obviously the hot commodity of the rounds is not going to be yours. So slow start for the Ninjas once again. Shades of Ancient in the early game.
Swearing to the bomb blast. No problems for 9 Pandas. It does mean that NiP will retrieve and continue the AWP and M4 into this. Gives Wrinkle another opportunity to have some impact. He's already on... Oh, I think actually those stats are from the last map, right? Yeah, I was going to say, he's got 6 opening picks and 5 rounds, Jackie.
He's just that good.
Yeah. What a beast. With 0 rounds as well. Feels bad for Wrinkle right now. But I think that the main difference is, yeah, 9 Pandas flubbed a huge lead on Ancient, but this is such a convincing, comfortable map for them. It's hard to see how they do the same here the second time around. Peek out, Wrinkle lucky to survive. The flashbang pretty much keeps him in this round. Diladez couldn't fully get that spray under control. He couldn't see anything. But with the damage inflicted, Wrinkle has to play way more passively. He'd love to go for those wide swings that we saw time after time on Ancient, but you just can't afford that luxury on 16 HP. One stray bullet through the smoke and you're dead.
You can play for the cross from CT on low health with the AWP here. Through another smoke in, then they HE it open. But they're up on the bomb site, and Isaac from Gandalf, who wanted to be a bit of a bad magician and split him in half. It's not going to happen here. Rez is able to connect onto one. Wrinkle on the extension. You're thinking Disbalance would be ready for the taps. Maybe there's more story to this round yet. 3 versus 3, 2 of them incredibly low. Bomb's just gone down. Paranoid about the setup towards T-Spawn. Where's he lurking? Where's he situated? He's inside a long house with 23 health, just going to be holding for the doors. And losing these weapons could be far worse. There's no another pick. It's not going to put you in a 3v2 where you might want to have a look in for the bomb sites. They're going to save, hold on to these weapons. Wrinkle will keep the AWP, but no rounds.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they must have a good read that at least one of the 9 Pandas are low. They may not have confirmed damage on both, but more importantly, it's the fact that Wrinkle's on 16 and you have 1 kit between the 3 of them. It sucks to save at this point because you're eyeing up a 6-0 deficit, but the alternative of pushing in and losing all of these guns is far worse. And you can see the economy on Isaac and Mistem, not great. Rez just below $4,000. Losing these weapons would have been catastrophic. So hold on to them. Second timeout. This very much feels like deja vu from Ancient. 2 early timeouts with Exist getting involved. Big deficit that you're trying to chase back down again. But of course, the difference on that one is that they started on the T side and they were really struggling to bypass the Disbalance AWP and Diladez just basically popping off down middle with Shalfie. It's a different ball game here because they could be looking at a high deficit going into the T side, and we know Wrinkle is way more comfortable on that CT side where he can kind of dictate the pace more, take the picks where he feels comfortable. Did you see that clip from Hunter where he
with the 2-player peak? Yeah.
That was great.
Sometimes you need a bit of a blessing on your side. Disbalance, he takes the fast hit, had the spawn for the long engagement. Hot toes though. And Wrinkle He wants to instigate a round on this one. He's looking for the headshot, but nothing to be gained. Result ready. The AK. Strike straight back. Oh, thought maybe there was a bit of timing there for Isaac on the run out, but this is just easy for them. Each and every duel, timing for Rez as well, and CT Spawn switches to the HE for the response back. They drop on top of you. And they're just being body bagged one by one. You can see the stress, the body language on Exist there. Glowing hits the last shot. 7 rounds clean on their T side, Dust2. Just running through them.
Yeah, I give credit where it's due as well. Like, Result may have been missing in the first map, but he is here and he is delivering. Round after round with entries, with double kills. Stellar performance. You could say the same though on multiple players over on Pandas. I mean, it has just been dominant. We were discussing coming into this best of 3 series. Glowiing and Astralis have had pretty rough tournaments, you know? But, well, there you have it. He's not missing right now with the AWP. Another buy for NiP, and they trail by 1 player. This time, Yokab 0-7 with 19 ADR. But, I mean, it's not really faring any better on most of the rest of NiP. It's really only Rez that's kicked things off in a positive way.
And that's Wrinkle. Annoyed he doesn't get the trade as well with the setup you're going for. Obviously, you run out in towards mid. He was looking for the peak backup, but you kill the 1 player with the A1S, and no room for impact. And his timing on that initial play is well and truly gone. Pandas setting themselves up for the hit towards the B-bomb site. It's missed them. Only 1 kill to his name so far here on Dust2. Posturing at the back of the site on the peak up. They line up for him. Easy spray down. 4 kills picked up as they do fade away. And Xiaofi wondering how on earth they've been obliterated on this one.
We had a moment on Ancient with Isaac picking off a clutch that just seemed to inspire and resurrect NiP. Is this the moment on Dust2? Misdem lines up all 4. And that's always the problem when you push into a site without flashes or smokes and you're in a claustrophobic, close-knit kind of choke point. Hold down left click and there's going to be multiple frags coming your way and you can't really re-engage. You're going to be shooting the back of your teammates' heads. Well-placed timing. Pandas maybe just overthinking things. Whichever way you spin it though, Jackie, NiP have got to make the most of this opportunity. If it's a one and done, Pandas are off to an outrageous T-side start on Dust2.
It's got to be the splash of water to their faces, wake them up, get them into the groove of things here. Fighting for survival in Shanghai. If Pandas take this, there's more to be done. Another map to go. Mirage at the end. 1-for-1 trades initially into the round. Xiaofi taking a bit of space towards mid, gets the mid to B smoke up, flashes through it as well. You're going to crack it open, get visual that no one's initially committed off the back of that. They still got a ton of time. Nades as well for them there. Triple molly, flashbang, and the smoke on Diladez. They're going for the quick hit. Out through short. Run onto the bomb site. Wrinkle, top of the car. Flashed off, but still good for the connection. Playing with Rez. That duo comes alive again.
Wrinkle with a second pick. Funnels Result back into middle. He does have the bomb. He's been spotted though. Tagged down to 28. Missed them. Making sure that he's on point to deliver. So NiP have got 2 rounds. Very similar story to how Ancient kicked things off as well. Pandas should still have some funds though, a vast amount of rounds. You can see they can honestly buy in the next one as well, whatever happens at this point. The NiP doing their absolute best to recover what looked like a lost cause.
And again, the man that makes moves for NiP is Wrinkle. He's getting those opening duels now. He's getting into the groove of the game. Peek out, eye disbalance on the shot back. As the flashbang fades, so does the life of Mistem and Yokab on the angle towards the car. Smokes, Molotovs, everything bombarding into the bomb site. But he could still be the blockade to buy a bit of time. His position not yet compromised. Xiaofi tucks in behind the box. You've got the contingent on mid as well. The insurance policy of Result. Rez walks out. Nothing to be gained there. His teammate behind the car had already expired, so Wrinkle forced back into a save.
That's going to be a very disappointing outcome, considering once again he got the opening pick onto Dilladez on middle. Great shot from Balance, though. There was a flash tossed in. I don't think it really affected him, even though it came up on the scoreboard. On the kill feed. Good flick onto Mistem. And yeah, as you highlighted, like, Yocab was still the ace up the sleeve, but the utility was solid with smokes and flashes and didn't really have a chance to fully get involved in that round. So NiP, it's 2 rounds that they're able to muster together and post up before being brought back down and being put to the sword. The save drop will allow them a couple of opportunities on this one with Isaac, Rez, and Yocab looking healthy. Can drop across to miss them. But I mean, best case scenario right now is 4 rounds on NiP, and the way in which 9 Pandas are playing right now, I can't really see it happening.
Yeah, it feels like this one's already kind of played out. Like they're just ebbing, flowing through the game, knowing how to counter it time and time again. Unless it's a hero round, unless it's a showstopper from NiP, they're just not really getting anything to find impact on these. Oh. Wrinkle will not be getting his opening duel this time as Disbalance tips it back in favor of 9 Pandas, but Yocab realizes he needs to do something single-handedly. Quick trade there for the tease, Glowing with a readjustment. We said he had gone missing. Where's Glowing? Well, here he is in the 11th.
I think they fully got baited into feeling safe there in lower tunnels because there was no call from Balance that a mid player had been pushed into. He gets the pick, didn't spot anyone pushing lower tunnels. And because you can see the first play that Yocab picks off is jumping around the corner with a nade or a knife or something. Isaac, in the meanwhile, though, has he just...
What is the timing on that?
Resort hasn't even seen him. He's still looking at middle. He has no idea.
That's so mad that they've been able to get past one another. Just watching it on the overview. Oh, mate. I mean, he actually might be able to get out on this and just back off, hold onto the gun.
I think he will, yeah. Because Resort clearly has no idea. He's still looking at CT spawn. You can see from his sort of angles that he was checking out that if he'd seen him on catwalk, like pushing into mid, they're definitely going to send players over there earlier on. But I mean, these are all just drops in the bucket, though, as far as NiP are concerned. It's all well and good saving this M4, but you're still 9-2 behind. You aren't going to have a great deal to play with in this round either. But yeah, Yocab, even without that hero play, or with the hero play, I should say, it's still so comfortable and convincing for 9 Pandas. It's like they're not breaking a sweat right now, Jackie. This is kind of what we expected coming into Dust2.
Yeah.
That's why the pressure was on so firmly for Ancient, and we were fearing the worst for NiP when that horrible start kicked into play.
Isaac woke them up there, brought them back into it, but he's been quiet on this one. And Wrinkle had about 5.8k, so he was able to get himself the AWP. Kevlar as well, and a single nade to work with. That's the smoke that's thrown out. Rez, a little bit more aggressive this time. Takes command of short, fights in for the opening pick. There is a trade, but damage back onto Dilladez. 2 players in position towards him inside. Forced off by the Molotov. It's Yocab with backup. Wrinkle isn't here. He's all the way out on long. Might still find a way to make his mark here in the 12th. Looking for a bit of a push up on short. You've got to edge yourself around the smoke. A Molotov, rather, with the smoke coming in on top. It's Isaac. Dilladez can just tuck in, wait for his teammates on this, go for the full execute out, and you're so heavily committed to the split push out through long side. The Wrinkle, his late rotation, might come back to haunt them. They're paranoid about a mid to B on this one. They double up again.
I don't really understand Isaac rotating off from the boxes there. Like, you've completely given up catwalk. Like, even if they're worried about the mids to be hit, like, you've already got to play there. You've got to have faith in Yocab to hold that by himself. You've now basically just given put a red carpet out and said, 9 Pandas, please plant on the A site. And they're going to have great post-plant positions as well, assuming that something crazy doesn't happen. With a jump spot, the MP9 tries it, May. Won't collect any kills, and now 3 players isolated down. They have the high ground, and Dilladez is making the most of it with those 2. Wrinkle at least flicks in for the finish off kill onto Glowing, but he's about to go across onto long side, baits out the shot. 2 players staring him down, and they will put him out of his misery. But you go back to that Isaac rotation, and it's such a question mark to me. They haven't even smoked or flashed it at that point.
And Wrinkle's always one of those players that can find impact in those kind of rounds, but he's so heavily committed on believing there's a late lurk out through the doors. He instead went further in, looking for the clear on Longhouse, finally comes back, hits one, but then the verticality comes into effect. Too many angles. It was always the possibility of the quick trade, even if he took down another player. That's for the last round, the end of the half. So massive deficit here. 10 rounds on the board. Great T-side from 9 Pandas, controlling this game. You know, coming into Dust2, we were looking at the stats. It paints that picture that this should be 9 Pandas, incredibly confident, incredibly dominant. We're seeing players that were quiet start to get loud as well in terms of their impact on the server. Then NiP haven't got that plot armor this time.
I think that really factors into why maybe both of us coming into this game expected 9 Pandas to actually take the win, is because in terms of map pools, 9 Pandas have a much deeper pool than NiP do. To put it in perspective, Dust2 is their second best map. Their best being Inferno, which is NiP's permaban. They played it 18 times. Tons and tons of success on it with 72% win rate. So, you know, it's always going to be a comfort pick. And the same could be said, really, of Mirage, which is up 3rd, which is looking increasingly likely to get to, as Balance pops off with 3. No real retaliation other than Result hitting the deck, but Mistem now with bomb in hand has to try and recover. In more ways than one for his team to stand a chance. Julie's in play, playing with his food is Diledez, and finally decides to puncture Mistem and get 9 Pandas across to an 11-2 lead.
And Diledez going absolutely ballistic as well on the player cams. Lots of energy from him. He was hyped up even before the game started, and everything's just been keeping that energy high for the team, whereas it's a lot more somber for NiP. Obviously, first 2 timeouts called in incredibly early on. Since then, they've all just been watching on. Exist hasn't had his opportunity to speak to the rest of the squad. They call in their 3rd here now, so last chance saloon for them and for him. What a gross position you left in, right? Losing that pistol round. If it was hard before, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah. No, exactly. It's like that lifeline, that life raft has just popped. And you're just watching it slowly sink. Wilson! Yeah, exactly. That movie gets me every time, man. It's almost like they're not even fully going off now with the cheering, because they've already accepted they've won the map almost. It's like they've come to this super confident realization that NiP, they can't touch them on Dust2. Tech9s, Deagles, everything's been invested into this round, desperately trying to clamber their way into a shred of a possibility. Try and take some weapons away from 9 Pandas, who are playing this one much more passively, giving up catwalk, giving up mid, player up close and long as Result with the MP9. They have come off B sites. Oh, okay, missed them with the opening pick with that flash. It's a second as well. Hold the phone, maybe there is a chance yet.
Oh, Turmoil with the Tech9. Evil Brain, Angel Heart as he pops off. Mistem showing up on that one. But I disbalance up on short, looking for the spray. They're all lining up. With the Tech still deal damage. You should be able to feast with this MP9, but it's not working. It's all Techs. And Glowing's the last one left, so NiP. A small sliver of a chance given to them. As the Tech9s parade massively. And a bit of energy comes back to the camp, but this is only just getting begun on Dust2 for them. It'd have to be a huge comeback, round after round. And is this really sustainable, right? Yeah, sure, you get out through mid-side with the Tech9s. What can they do with the actual weapons?
Nice, man, bro. Come on, boys. Let's fucking go. Let's go. Now we're getting some fucking...
Bruh, maybe just stick with the Tech9s, boys. That was incredible from Mistem. The fact he gets the 2nd kill while fully flashed as well is... Oof. As you say, though, it's not the kind of dependable, consistent rounds that you can bank off saying, right, we can pull out another 8 of those and tie this up. Now, that's the exception to the rule. That's a bit of a fluke. Great shots, don't get me wrong, but there were a couple of moments there where Pandas, like iDisbalance with his M4, could have probably killed 3 on that spray. Then Result with an MP9 gets insta-dinked around the corner. Those are freakish kills that you really cannot expect to get too many more of. Aggression up on middle though for Pandas. They've got those 5-7s, missed them. Oh, he's tucked away into the corner. He's heard iDisbalance, he has no idea. Takes him out. That was maybe a win condition in this round on the side of Pandas, but it has been thwarted, it has been denied. So a 4th round to NiP. Playing for a bit of pride and confidence here on Dust2.
Resort just trapped here with a 5-7. They peak together, so there's no way you can commit to just one fight. They're able to double up. Xiaofi back in spawn, waiting for this one to expire. Again, it is only a 5-7, and Kevlar, he'll drag into the next round. Better than nothing, but unable to post up any rounds here.
Yeah, a bit of a momentary reprieve on NiP. These are the rounds you should be locking in and dialing in so easily. Sure, Xiaofi can maybe be a bit of a problem with that 5-7. The rest of the team, though, USPs. It's good to see that Rez has been having some impact, though. He didn't necessarily need to do a lot of the heavy lifting on Ancient, but there were moments where you saw his aim just slightly off, especially considering how good of a player he is individually, typically, for NiP. Of course, been at the roster, or the org, I should say, forever.
Yeah. For years and years and years, mate. Pandas on this one. They set up with all of their men on short, looking for the run out, reposition round, peeking in one by one. Range advantage is good for NiP, and missed them. Point man up on short finds that one, so no shenanigans from Pandas. But they've been biding their time for this. Reinvestment comes out. iDisbalance with the AWP on his CT side. They got nades, they got rifles on the rest of the squad as well.
Yeah, Rez has been at NiP for about 7 years, since 2017. Quite remarkable. Not many players have that sort of standing with an org, that kind of loyalty over a long period of time. And think of how many rosters he's been a part of. But hold that for a second, because Result double nading with Xiaofi, already taking down Yocap. He tried to get outside along and just got barraged down. They're going to try and make the most of this momentary weakness on Catwalk, or at least they think it's weak. But Glowing there with the incendiary throws it down and just stalls them.
Hoping they've caught a timing for the run out, but he's just jump spotting, like you say. Dashes in the incendiary to slow it down. And the re-smoke out. So round 17. Becoming a bit of a stalemate here for NiP. They got the one smoke in the back pocket for Mistem. Remolly in case he's pushed up onto the close angle. Set up with that over the top, block off towards the mid-speed run out. They could attempt to go for it. It's the waterfall onto the box, expands the whole way across, block off the CT angle. iDisbalance. Scoped in, waiting for the walkout, but the timing on it, he just postures off as they start peeking, misses the shot as well. That's your window now. NiP can run in towards the bomb site, Glowing on the spam through the smoke, connects onto Rez, Wrinkles holding. He's the flanker, ready for the backstab if they come barreling out. Jumping around the corner, Glowing gives himself up. That could be spammed onto by Resort, and the angle works. Low HP, but look at the positions. Missed them, already wrapping through lower side, and they're going to come straight back into him. He just tucks in. They don't know. He can swing out. Gets one, Xiaofi with the AWP shoulder peeking it, but almost fully extended. You're giving all the damage to Mistem. 3 clean kills. And a round going the way of NiP with the AWP being saved for Isaac. He can get dropped back over to Wrinkle. They just have to keep winning time and time again. But right now, even with Pandas finding good openers, closing them down hasn't been as clean on their CT side. Switch up here on the buy, of course, not having enough money to work with, so you get the smokes out, tons of HEs, they could go for a stack.
Yeah, long play coming in, and NiP are about to walk into it. Damage on the grenades is hefty. Missed them on 14 frags and having a real huge amount of impact on this T-half. Takes the bulk of it, but Rez and Wrinkle laying the CTs bare with those AKs and the AWP, and suddenly just 2 remain. Diladez, a bit slow on the draw against Mistem in that last round, and it's going to be the same again in this. And although Glowing puts the Deagle to work, and plenty bodies have hit the deck, NiP have managed to get themselves a 7th round, and 9 Pandas now forced into their first tactical timeout. The first time they've maybe started to feel a little bit of a pinch of pressure and realize, well, hold on a second, there's actually a map being played now. They look like so confident, even though running rounds, you didn't see Diladez popping off, they were just kind of relaxed and calm. Or maybe some nerves starting to creep in now.
With NiP, they are 1 map up in this series. They won the debut on Ancient. And will it be that same storyline again? A slow start into a huge comeback where they're able to close it. It's harder this time around, sure. But you won't give a damn if you can still find the answers each and every round. This is an important buy now for the Pandas. Disbalance back with the AWP. Diladez on the cross. Tagged up. Connections there. Great reactions from Wrinkle. No pick, but a hefty tag that could save them late round, depending on how this one plays out in the 19th.
Flash is good. Connects onto Disbalance twice, but resold there in the body system. And although he gets 1, it won't be a second added. Mistem on the periphery, deals with Shalfie up on middle. And that gives them passage up on catwalk, but it's not safe to reverse across to the A site, because Disbalance playing in amongst those smokes is still in the fight, still activating in, and another kill on Rez. Although Wrinkle returns the favor and does have control over the bomb, almost faking as if he's trying to cross over on the B site, but Glowing is down on CT. He can see that's not the case. However, Disbalance has moved off his perch. He's no longer watching catwalk. Wrinkle can get onto the site. There is a way forward for here to get the bomb plant down in enough time to reposition and welcome and receive the oncoming CTs. This round is now the winnable spot, and it just got a whole lot better. Glowing thought it was a B-side plant. His back was turned. He just gave it up for free, and now it's a battle of the AWPers.
The timing on it as well from the walk back around from Disbalance. Wrinkle's able to get himself into a good position. The Shinobi sniper does it again. Wrinkle saves the round for NiP. Showing up in Shanghai and erupting with excitement. A huge clutch from him. It's about survival. They've got to grind out these rounds again and again on their T side. And delivering there with Disbalance looking like the job was done. But they forgot about Wrinkle.
I'm not talking about that! Nice fucking go, boy!
Almost couldn't believe it himself. He's like, oh yeah, I did just clutch. That smoke was sick, by the way. That totally changed the dynamic of that 1v2. I was thinking that Glowing would have the angle to see that there wasn't a cross, but you could see by the fact he was shot in the back, looking up at window, he fully thought that was a B-side plant. He had no idea where Wrinkle was. Very well played. But even with all of that being put into place, even though that's been 6 rounds back-to-back in favor of NiP, they're still 11-8 behind. There is still an opportunity for 9 Pandas to get this one done. They've done such a good job, though, of battling their way back. It was 11-2 at one stage. They look dead and buried. Are we really about to see 2 rounds in a row with 9 Pandas letting a vast lead slip through their fingers?
Well, this one might slow down a bit of the momentum that was being built up for NiP. It looked like Mistem DC'd halfway through that clutch there. So technical pause called in. The admin's having a word. Looked like he's trying to get CS back in. Could put a bit of dampener on things. Seems like he's getting back into the game now, though. Relaunching Counter-Strike and trying to keep their heads in it.
It kind of still exists. Wave him off. Like, it's fine. No worries. That bodes well for us getting back into this. And yeah, we just want to get straight back on the server, right? Like, this isn't a very precarious but tantalizing position for both teams. Like 11-8, you still think, well, 9 Pandas is still firm favorites. Like this should still be their map. No problems. They're comfortable on it. They've got an incredible win rate on this. Yeah, but the momentum is entirely shifted at this stage.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot more weakness, whereas as much as obviously they can be incredibly proactive on their T side, and they were being able to play off one another to get opening picks, to keeping you guessing with the movement. CT side's been a lot more stagnant, kind of just basically playing possum, waiting for the pushes to come towards them. And it feels like there's been a few whiffs compared to what we were seeing previously as well, right? Like the shots with the setup you had on short side probably should have been there. Round, it all went wrong there. So rounds you want to forget about and just course correct, getting back into the groove of the game. Obviously, pressure's on them. If they lose this, the series is over. That will be a 2-0 for NiP.
That would be a different kind of heartbreak, this RMR round. Of course, last time unable to make it to Copenhagen because of visa issues.
Yeah.
Gamer Legion took their spot. And now, in this 2-2 matchup, with 2 golden opportunities on both maps. It's not done just yet, Jackie. Yes, it's looking a little bit bleak, a little bit grim, especially as it's going to be another eco round coming in for 9 Pandas. But they're still in the lead. They will have a scout as well. Balance picking one up with an MP9 alongside it on Shalfie. Obviously, round loss bonus is brimming to the fullest. Oh, that looked on to me. Don't know, I've got boomerized though. I could be wrong, but I thought that honestly hit him.
Well, this might. Watch Balance here. The flick of the wrist from the Panda as Balance takes the head of Rez. And they take map control, push the extremities. Start to suffocate and squeeze them off. As they bleed their way into upper on the rotate back, though, Yokat catches a glimpse, range advantage on the AK, the Arabesque firing off the warning shots. But Balance does it again. He's still taking these fights. 2 with a scout, slows them right down. 3 Ts remaining. 2 up on the bomb site, but the CT's in great position to make this one uncomfortable. And they're getting tags off. Jump spot up, take down the bomb planter. It's all on Isaac. He had a hero round back on Ancient, but this one's even harder. Smoke shot's good for the first. Paranoid about the close angle. Taps the bomb to force the fight, but the spray is labored and Resalt delivers. That's how they make it to 12.
NiP, 6 rounds in a row of consistent buys, crazy clutches, and huge individual moments, and you get put to the sword by 5-7s and a scout? I mean, take nothing away from Balance. Those are 2 sick shots. Oh, that's such a gut punch. NiP have expended so much time, effort, energy to get themselves in this. And now it's 4 map points. Dilladez caught on the cross one more time. Tagged down significantly, but the same can be said for Rez. Up on long, grenade lands right by his feet. And he needs to tread lightly now as he backs away. Waits for the rest of the reinforcements to arrive so they can take that long. No one's home. There are 3 players in close proximity looking to try and boost over, get themselves into the fight. Need to be careful though, Wrinkle is watching this angle.
Drops the ore back to Rez, low on health, 14 HP to his name. Takes the rifle on this. He is a bit of a hybrid, so he'll be comfortable in this situation as well. It's glowing on the bomb site. Support on short, flash over the top so he can peek in, take the combat on ramp, but run down from Isaac. And they're expanding quickly, taking space. Chip damage is great though for both teams. Everyone's softened up, so the M4s could still find frags from this. Single flashbang in the back pocket for Dilladez, but Balance, his head's on the chopping block, and it's Yokat to be the executioner. The backstab seals that one. Gives them a fighting chance here in the 9th. They're all going to barrel back. They're looking to posture off from it. They know he's here as a mid-contingent. And they just want to save these guns. Economy in a real rough position. And NiP could claw their way back into 9.
Yeah, they are. That's been dialed in already. Question now remains whether 9 Pandas can save any of these guns. Money could justify an NiP hunting for this, even though they're on low hit points across a bunch of them. Also, don't want to give any further AKs across, so they're going to be happy to tap this one out and allow the 3-9 Pandas players to save. 3 more opportunities now, though. 3 more chances.
The notorious Wrinkle still has the AWP. He's been good with the mid-openers, getting tags, getting hits off. Hefty investment on long side, reading the book and expecting a fast round with the tempo from the T side of NiP, but they're not coming this time. Instead it's a split push, mid to be out, focus on Dilladez in the round. He's got to hold back the wave, quick reposition from glowiing. He was good last time. Visualized the frag, got the shot off to put him into a better position. This time goes headstrong. Dilladez, all on you to defend, but the turret is uprooted by Rez is AK.
And that should be another save. Shalfie, though, is going to be in a fight sooner rather than later. He's being flanked from the side. Here's the footsteps.
Whoa.
Oh, put down. Yocab deals with him. Do they want 2 AWPs? For the time being, he's going to pick that one up just to make sure the CTs can't get their hands on it, but be curious to see if they run with 2 AWPs into the next round. Dust2, of course, is a map where that could very well be a possibility, but decides against it, tosses it back down, picks up the AK instead. So NiP will hit 10. Didn't look likely at 11-2 down. Esports waiting for that push. Wait to receive the tease. 2 on long, but he goes down. A lot of damage, but no kill alongside it. Balance will save. Now, there is more than enough money to get a buy in. Second timeout called. Makes a lot of sense. Want to make sure that you go through everything. Fierce has called that one. They will have a buy. We've seen consistent long control attained by 9 Pandas from Resalt's been getting out there with early grenades. A lot of it's been based off spawns as well, though, so it'll be curious to see what they come up with here.
Double AWP setup. Could be a tenacious defense. 4-9 Pandas here in the 23rd. That would still close the game and push us to the 3rd map, the decider of Mirage, a bookend that's been waiting in the wings, but a story we might never get to tell. If NiP can close this in 2. Totem pole peak for the mid face. Wrinkle loves going for these. Bypass him this time. 3 players out on long, deep HEs. Isaac. A sliver of chip damage as that one tickles the toes and drops him to 86. But it affords Resalt an aggressive position, allows the wrap off from Shalfie, so that second AWP can be put to better use elsewhere.
Seen a change as well from 9 Pandas. I was curious what kind of alternatives they go for. Dilladez has really been struggling on B sides. They've actually sent Balance over there for this round to join him. He's playing more of a static angle. He's allowing Dilladez to play more middle. Like, Dilladez is typically one of the guys over the duration of this tournament that has been popping off round after round after round. He's been very silent, especially on the second half. B-side just seems uncomfortable for him. May very well try and push out there as well. You can see that nothing's really happened over on the B tunnel side. At some point, someone may try and flank round the back, get into lower tunnels and have a quick peek. But for the time being, this is leaving glowiing alone to fend off the A side. He does have backup in the form of Result up on long, but he's been mollied out, flashed alongside it, does stand his ground for 1. Any more kills would be huge, and it could be the beginning of the end for Dust2. Wrinkle comes in for a Tech-9 frag and a spray from Yocab, good for 1. But it's going to have to be down to Wrinkle one more time as he lands the headshot, but it's not quite good enough. They tried their best to make the comeback, but we go the distance to Mirage.
Yes, we are going to get the 3rd map. 9 Pandas again. They were letting the lead slip away from them. NiP creeping stealthily.
Should lend itself to 9 Pandas. From what I've seen so far on these 2 first maps, I have absolutely no idea who's winning this.
Yeah, I think expectations and statistical breakdowns are out the window at this point, right? It all just goes down to what you could do on the server. Put your best foot forward, fight for survival here. You need the W to stay in the runnings for the Shanghai Major. It's all on the line. We've seen great rounds from Wrinkle. Rez having his moments. Missed him showing up back in map 1. Isaac with important clutches. Over on 9 Pandas, Resort felt like he went a bit quiet. Glowing. Conversation was, is he going to be absent on the server? Shalfi was dealing damage. Dilladez with a deagle has been lethal. But it's all got to be said here. T-side start for NiP, 9 Pandas on the CT side. We get into the groove of things. Third and final map, it's all on Mirage.
Well, the T-side has been a little bit of a slow start for NiP in each and every one of these maps. Dust2 had success towards the end, but the leaping across, Jakub is taken down first. Resort in the meanwhile, though, dialing in some more frags, and it's pretty much everybody lending a hand in this one. Misstep. He had tons of impact on Dust2, but this just feels like it's a little bit too much to ask for. There is a low in Dilladez down on the get-right position, who can get finalized here, but he's just baiting. Missed them out into the open for Dilladez to shut him down for a 3K and get 9 Pandas in the lead.
The pistol prowess of Dilladez has been felt throughout this series, and again, another round where he's able to show us what he's made of from the short angle. Taking scalps in the round. And kicking things off with a good CT side boon. Excitement there for him as well. He's fired.
Oh, I love it, man. He's been like this all day. All tournament, to be fair to him. One downside is when things start to go awry, can get very quiet over on the 9 Pandas side of things. That HE is destined for damage. Missed him, tagged down at 27, but will stand and deliver for 1. Problem is that Glowing is now just picking apart the rest of the T's with that FAMAS. Second kill is good, though, and a deagle traded up to for Yokab. Ooh, I thought for a second I'd connected. Would have been costly, but 9 Pandas take the 2-0.
Yeah, good crouch into it. Felt like he was ready for that one. But nice hold from Glowing. And the second round picked up relatively cleanly. And here comes the buy. The T side of NiP with the AKs out on parade. Oh, nades to play with as well here going into the third. So a bit more stock in this round. Let's see what the call is. Early mid-smoke out towards the window. Follow-up going to be blocking off connector as well. So they can run out, see if they can fight for this. A bit of block on that from the CT side perspective. They're just peeking over the top as well, looking for the fight here. Flash back in. It's completely missed off the back of the body block. They're able to fight from it. It's a quick reposition round towards the B side. Resort caught in transition through the window. Shalfi with 1. Headshot connection back onto Isaac. But Yokab, he's looking to brawl. Causing issues inside of the market. Checks out with 2. Glowing. Burning alive, but still strikes on the FAMAS. But that might be all they get from this.
Yeah, with the tons of casualties they've taken over the duration of these first 2 rounds as well, they're not really in a position where their economy can afford to lose more weapons. They have to just save. And Mistem knows it. He's on the prowl. He's on the hunt. Wants to try and finalize these 2 last pesky CTs and drop their weapons to the deck. Glowing behind CT. Box in a toll booth. May pay the price. In just a few moments' time, Mistem is going to clear this angle and will take him down. And now Dilladez realizes he's in a real world of hurt. Mistem picks up the pace. Good snap headshot. No survivors. And Iris Balance, Dilladez both down at $1,400. Precarious position for 9 Pandas now. They may want to just tap out of this round, but they're going to force. Instead, yeah, 2 players having a double save is never a great position to be in. So, I mean, you are looking at 2 5.7s, a deagle actually alongside the 5.7, and MP9. No kits and a distinct lack of utility on top of it.
Run down on short. Rez repositioning quickly. Squeezing map control on the CT side. Break on the window, smoke peek out, but Wrinkle will take the face and win that one comfortably. So Shalfi slain. Yokab can tuck in close in the smoke towards connector as well. Dilladez, he's been lethal with that dig. This is a rough encounter for him and Resort. They look to clear it. Rez on the run-in. 1-for-1 trade. Missed them with a bite back. High disbalance here on jungle side. Cleaned up and one by one. Mopping up the Pandas. Window of opportunity for Dilladez well and truly gone. He can get his hands back on the hot rod, but this fourth round looking everything is good for NiP.
That'd be a good take out of it though, a second rifle. And keep in mind Dilladez has a deagle, so he can drop that across one of his teammates, assuming they can hold on to these two. But what makes this third map such an enticing proposition is that when you look at the sort of trajectory to this point, and yes, I completely agree, throw all the normal stats and everything out the window, it's all about this map, but you have the two warpers and their respective teams. The two players are playing the best on the server by a considerable distance. iDisbalance having one of the best performances of his entire event so far. 40 kills, Wrinkle 41 frags. There's such little to determine between these two AWPers right now. The ADR 88 to 86, the rating 1.34 to 1.36. It is so close between these two. But the problem here early doors is that because of how scrappy the start has been from iDisbalance on 9 Pandas, he's not going to be able to get an AWP for quite some time. This is actually stalling and stymieing your heavy-hitting player that is feeling it right now.
That's the difference in opening jewels as well. Like coming into this series, Wrinkle had twice the amount of opening jewels he was being able to find. 27% conversion rate compared to the 13.4% that we'd seen from iDisbalance. As we were saying, it's one being proactive, whereas the others watching it happen, looking to react off the back. This is really rough for glowiing. Really burnt to a crisp instantly. No HP left, and that's the rifle that was in his hands. You bleed back out on mid-side, looking to just throw bodies at the problem. See if you can make it uncomfortable here in the battle of attrition. Rez being run down. No escape. Result sprinkles the bullets on top. And NiP respond with a barrel out into the bomb site. Heads up Molotov as well. Stops iDisbalance getting back around.
Bomb has been planted.
It surprises me somewhat that Dilladez is still here. They have no kit. They don't really have much utility either. And additionally, two players without armor. Aim punch going to be a real problem, but they want to try and still go for this one. They need to get their first kill. They do get it down, but they've lost both players as a result. And I mean, I know hindsight's always 20/20, and it's easy for us to make these kind of judgments, and yes, they can also buy, but it felt like the chances of them winning that round were so low. Saving the AK surely is the better play long term.
Yeah, tried to chase on the economy on that one, see if they could find anything from it, but really messy in the initial engagements. It was glowing, that was burning. Response back onto Residence and top mid that afforded them those AKs. Down to 2 players, but NiP taking the bomb plant and the round. So 1 ahead, 3-2 split here in the third map. iDisbalance, A1S in play. Can't go for the jump out, but his teammate will find the first pick. Wrinkle with a rapid response, straight back down. It's a carnage up middle. Everyone's scrapping.
Yeah, but both teams giving as good as they get. Wrinkle down low, HP has already picked up 1. Dilladez on 9 frags, who did get in amongst it, also bested. Good to see him back on the server again after a rough Dust2. But it is Yokamp. Edging NiP slightly in the lead. Oh, but he gets caught in the side. Not anticipating iDisbalance, missed him. Insta-trade back again, just back and forth encounters between the two teams. Standing in the middle of the ring and exchanging haymakers. glowiing though gets the KO blow onto Mistem. But the bomb is now transitioning back through the T-spawn. In the hands of Wrinkle and Isaac. And with glowiing making moves into Con, he may have just overthought this. He's playing himself off the site, but now he goes back on there again. He could be there to receive and to take down these Ts. Even if he picks off a low Wrinkle, that could be good enough.
Last chance qualifiers is where we've seen this man absolutely thrive. But in this round, it's going to be a fast peek in from Wrinkle, low on health, opens it up, shuts him down, doesn't expect the second to be in close proximity, and it's Isaac back in a 1v2. He broke their backs on Ancient in this exact position. Can he roll it right back? Time ticking away. Throws in the Molotov and the HE. He's looking to try and get himself the plant down. It'll be a fast peek from CT, and that's iDisbalance with a round.
Yeah, glowiing wouldn't have been affected by those grenades either because he knew The time was so low, the full-on plant would have to come through, so he just runs him down and runs him through in the end. 3-3, 9 Pandas finally have an AWP in the hands of iDisbalance for what I believe is the first time on this half. Taking that away from Wrinkle. So let's see if he can have that same level of impact. They will be having to withstand up against NiP on another full investment. It is 2 MAC-10s. 2 players without head armor could be caught off guard by this. Oh, never mind. Dillides had a bit extra cash. It's only iDisbalance without the helmet.
Quiet game from Rez to this point as well. He's had his key rounds over the series. Slow to start. How does he finish? That's always the big question. Very early doors in the third map so far. iDisbalance sets himself up by the ticket booth with support of glowiing on the bomb site. Dillides posturing off, so it's a fast hit here from Mistum. He's able to get short control instantly. He can be the distraction piece and potentially the backstab that can kill Xiaofi. Then you go barreling out onto the bomb site. It's all down to Resort. That's only the MP9. Utility's gone for him. Oh, tucks in, looking for 2. Gets him low, but Isaac will bypass. Retake's already arriving on the scenes. He's looking to try and get that fast deny onto the bomb, but missed him towards E-Box, hits the head, and the round's gone with it.
Bypassing iDisbalance on the AWP. Almost feel sorry for him. It's like, yeah, I finally got the AWP, guys, let's go. Oh, you've hit B and after save. Brilliant. So back he'll fall into the Palace with glowiing. Great call by NiP though, and yeah, you mentioned that they had this kind of this 2-hit contingent in terms of the MAC-10 running and gunning up on the catwalk while the bulk of the T's exploded out of BAPS. But there's only 1 player there for 9 Pandas as well. Like, there's not too much he could have done about that, really. I think it was Resort with the MP9. He got the 1 kill, but he was just overwhelmed. Just swarmed by aggressors.
Terrorists win.
I do wonder if this continues to be a problem over on B, if they're going to send a second player over there, at least to play on catwalk. Just to help him out just a tiny bit. I mean, there's not much that Resort can do if he's getting rushed down by 4 and 5 players.
We had Xiaofi on short, but obviously he just got backstabbed instantly. So as soon as he went down, everyone was able to run on out. And he was trying to set him up with the utility and then just got mowed down by the Max. So it went a bit south for them pretty quickly on that one. Investment into the utility around the weapons they've still got to play with. Glowing's AK and iDisbalance on the AWP. Wrinkle can take fights here, though. Comfortable in these sort of scenarios. Glowiing. Oh, headshot angle. Delivers the goods, but the payload still arriving. They need to full commit either. I mean, tons of time on the clock. 1 minute and 35 seconds. All 3 players here towards the A site. Drawing rotations over from the Pandas.
It has slowed down. I mean, the smoke's in their eyes. So they can't really do much of Isaac's position outside of Palace. Now it's going to start to fade. Tons of utility. You got 3 Molotovs, loads of flashes. Peeking in like this again just plays into the hands of Result, but you do remove his head. And now Dillides, who's been patiently waiting beside the box, knows at least 2 players now up on the ramp side, but he may be unsure as to Isaac's current position. And as he goes in for the swing, looks for the deagle. It's all gone horribly wrong. Xiaofi tries to lay down with the 5-7, but there is Yocab to pick it off. It was looking shaky for NiP. 1 HP for Mistem, but they survive and take the 5th.
The wiffle bat deagle from Dillides. He's hit some big shots with a gun over the course of this series. Back on Ancient, absolutely feasting with it, but not here, not this time. So another round to the greater NiP. This time with a good start. It's always been slow for them, Vince. Feels like they play on the back foot. They're able to find their way back in the late game. This time around, just starting to command early, finding confidence. Always keeping that economy on the brink of destruction for 9 Pandas as well, with how close these rounds have been. It's a fast out. Line up through triple, spam into the box. 2 opening picks with Wrinkle winning out in the head-to-head. The battle of the AWPers there versus iDisbalance. And NiP have got the AWPer hand on this round. Quick into A. Block off all the potential response from the CTs. Fragment the map. Yocam on the boost up. Oh, can't even take that one. The AK dismantles him and Result Watching all of his teammates get thrown into the blender around him. Let's hit a nice adjustment shot there on the run out towards Rez. Can grab an AK from it, but that's all he's going to have if he can keep it alive. And we've missed him on the bomb site. Should be bang to rights. Clean up on this one. A full house of NiP taking 6.
I love how aggressive and ruthless NiP are playing as well. Dying embers of this all-important match just to survive, to watch on while the rest of these games unfold. A lot of Counter-Strike to be played today. And one of these teams will be locking themselves into that final matchup later on. But they're so aggressive, not letting 9 Pandas get comfortable, not letting them get into positions. It's just run and gun. And even in the rounds where they've been a little bit later to execute, like a couple of rounds ago, the initial charge is there. They're terrifying 9 Pandas, making them throw out their utility early on and then just bypassing it. I mean, they got a 42% win rate on Mirage coming into the RMRs. And right now, they are looking clinical on this side. Shalfie seems to have some tech issues going on.
Yeah, locked into a back and forth here with the admin. So a technical pause, throwing a bit of a spanner in the works on this one. We'll see what the resolution is. Headset off for now. Just the one flip-flop.
Got Resalt as well, sat back in his chair. Oh dear. Not even sure what the problem is. Because I mean, Counter-Strike's up, so I guess it's some kind of audio problems going on.
Yeah, seems like it. I was pointing at the monitor, communicating with the admin. Seems a bit frustrated.
Yeah, this also happened on the last map as well when NiP were really surging ahead. They had tons of momentum built behind them. Their tech issue came in. It seemed to... I'm not saying that was the reason why they lost the game or anything. Of course not. But it certainly didn't help. Same kind of situation here as well. Off to a cracking start on their T side. I mean, coming through into this, you've got 2 players well over 120 ADR, and it's not really the usual suspects. It's Yocab, who had so many impactful rounds. Obviously, the wraparound from Market, where he shut down 2, basically outright won the round. They got Mistem again as well, who was great on Dust2. Rez is down at 24 ADR, and Isaac's down at 39. So they are straight up bludgeoning 9 Pandas without a lot of those heavy hitters fully activating and arriving on the server just yet.
Well, in ears back in. Headset placed over the top. Perhaps we're getting closer to this one going live again. We'll see. In terms of the organizations, though, what they're working for here, obviously, with their major appearances, NiP head and shoulders above the rest. 16 appearances at Counter-Strike Majors over the course of their tenure for the organization. 3rd all-time, tied behind Fnatic and Na'Vi. Rez, he's the only one with a major experience on this roster, of course. 7 major appearances for him. Rincourt, Mistem, and Yocab looking to make their debut. Oh, and Isaac, of course. Can't forget about him, mate. What, he's had like 3 majors now, I think. I forgot about him, really, with how good he looked back on Ancient, mate.
He's been to a fair few.
With some paper towels. Drink spillage, is that what's happened here? The socks come off. Yeah, I think he spilt a drink. He's getting the feet out for free. Shalfie, put those away.
I'm so confused. If it was a spilled drink, why is it taking that long for...
Did it go on the computer? Because obviously he was pointing at the headphones, the in-ears.
Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe he's drenched his toes and the PC. God. I don't know, Vin. Speculation, but it looks like a bit of panic. There's the paper towels in the hand. The admin, a bit confused. Wet sock there. You can see right through it. Oh, dear.
I'm so perplexed what the hell's happening. Because normally when we have these tech issues, you can see people like scrambling around, all typing on the keyboard and stuff. This is just like Shalfie's having a chill conversation with the referee. Like, how's your day today, mate? Right. Okay. Resalt's put his headset back on. Shalfie's got his in-ears. He's put his headset back on. Let's go. Fierce is stood up. It's looking good. I don't want to jinx it, but it's looking good. Oh yeah, you can see the liquid there, can't you, on the right side of the chair. There's a fair bit of it on the floor.
I think that's the 4th spillage we've seen on casts between the both of us over the course of this one.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to keep those liquids contained.
And I think 2 or 3 of them were in the Americas RMRs.
Yeah. I think, who was it? Art Frost that accidentally spilled like a whole bottle of water on his desk, and that took ages to clean up.
Yeah, and that's also in the same game, I think, when he was mega tilted.
He was real frustrated. Yeah, he was super angry.
All right, and then NiP call a timeout. So obviously, all of the tech issues, they couldn't speak to each other. I had to just sit in silence, call a timeout straight away, make sure everyone is dialed in. Makes a lot of sense why you'd want to pull this one into play. And NiP have shown with Exist, to be fair, over the duration of the RMRs, but especially in this game, they're not scared to throw a couple timeouts early on in the map, just to make sure they get the best possible start. We've seen this in both of the maps now, leading into Mirage. They're up against an eco. M4 for Resalt has been purchased. He's down to $0. So more of a hero M4 it looks like. And everybody else is happy enough just to go down to the pistols. So we'll see if that has been a bit of a combo breaker for NiP coming straight back into this. They've picked up 6 of the last 7 rounds, and Wrinkle showing no signs of slowing down.
No, certainly not. Fast hit there through the wall. Diligence tries to duck and dive, but you can't dodge Wrinkle. A hefty pick, and they wanted to go for this little boost with the rifle on top, so Resort playing on top of triple, but no one's here. So they take space, bleed down the ramp, see if they can get a read on what's going on the round. It's Wrinkle holding for that. So if they go for the raw rotate, he'd be in position to hold them back. It's just Shalfie. Single smoke dashed in. Buy a bit of time for the rotation. On the move, it's Disbalance, but it's only really going to be the 5-7, the P250 for a late hit on the bomb site if they come a knocking. They don't necessarily need to either. Tons of time still on the clock. They've got a boatload of utility with 3 players towards mid-side. Block off connector and window. Bombs on the back have missed them. Utility being thrown into the site, so it's a full 4 stack. But if they catch wind of this, you could bail on the play.
They could, but time now at 30 seconds. It looks like they fully engaged, they fully committed to this play. And Shalfie with the 5-7 is going to be able to deliver the first. This is getting awkward real quick, and it's gone from bad to worse. Resalt is chipping in for 2 frags. Yokab misses every bullet. And although Rez finally shows his hands, is it too little too late with 15 seconds? They come out into the open, and Shalfie puts him out with the AK. NiP have been broken. A great start, but they move into the stack site and they get punished.
A slow round with them walking into their demise. Started off for Shalfie on short. They just kept finding kills. No room for trades. Went down to Rez, doubled his kills over the course of this map so far in a single round, but not enough to clutch it. And Shalfie, after wiping away the water, it's tears that he's spilling in that round.
Yeah, I like to believe he's just got like a bottle of his enemy's tears and just throws on the ground now and again.
Sorry, admin, it's gone everywhere.
Like consecrate the ground around him, you know?
You'd need a blessing with how this one started. Disbalance does get the orb. Back towards the ticket booth again this time. We've seen it before. It was the first outing he had with the orb. It was limited success. We saw a late B hit from NiP there. That was pre-pause on this one. They bloke open, looking for the peek down in case someone's going in for the connector hit. Look at the position from Rez, though, inside of the window here, just on the alcove. Oh, and Resalt's about to be tested. So many angles, she can swing in, bait the crosshair off, can't even get the first. They overwhelm him, barrel into the bomb site. You can have that rotation cut off as well by Rez. Shalfie, show us what you're made of here. Can the Night Wish turn this into nightmares for NiP as they bail on the play? 50 seconds on the clock. Rez calling for the rat back. He's in jungle. Glowiing tucks in through the connector smoke. Hearing the footsteps, but you're going to be peeked from both sides, trying to decide where to look, and Rez has got the right idea. And one by one, NiP win their duels. Wrinkle with the closer, and a 7th taken on their T side.
Impressive mental fortitude as well after the timeout, after the tech issue, to lose around the nature that they did. They didn't press the self-destruct button, didn't get on their own backs. They come straight through, they get the success, they break 9 Pandas back down to size. And it's forced them into a Deagle, a 5-7, and a couple of FAMASs. Now, they still have the open play, but iDisbalance has not had anywhere near that same level of impact on this CT side as we've seen throughout the duration of the best of 3. A lot of that has been because of the economy not allowing him to, but Rez this time just enforces his will up on middle, and it's an almost carbon copy play of the last round. Straight up into window, wants to try and backstab them. Glowiing in all kinds of bother right now, and that HG could finish him off, but he decides to wide swing and take the life of Yocab in the process.
Scrappy round, throwing everything bar the kitchen sink at one another. Weapons grabbed, Glowiing with the arabesque. Can he do his very best in a round like this to hold back the oncoming onslaught? Missed them, overwhelmed. The Pandas makes a huge play, but Rez with the tag softens them up. Up on the stairs, looking for the closer. He was brought back to life by the homies in that round, but in the end goes down 5-7. A little bit of steam towards the tail end, but a quiet half for 9 Pandas overall.
Gotta give a lot of credit to how Glowiing played that shadow position there with the 5-7 man. He was an absolute nuisance. He was a menace. It would have felt like a death by 1,000 paper cuts. He kept going for the wide swings. They pull a grenade out, he wide swing, one taps you. Stays alive the entire time, and therefore you have to have at least one set of eyes watching shadow for that repeak, so it allows the default position and the toll booth position to really excel, to really thrive. The pressure was off their shoulders because Glowiing was just absorbing it like a sponge. Such a good round by him. And that's that kind of experience that we've been missing for the duration of how 9 Pandas have really came into this tournament. He normally is one of the guys you can rely on to have the big plays.
Maybe you should have got him to help suck up the water, Vince. If he's looking like a sponge, would have fixed that tech pause.
I just have like really weird mental images now of him just sucking on the carpet. Like, I don't know why my brain's gone there. Look, it's early in the morning.
It's fair enough. It's fair enough. Right then. Well, 7-5, closer than it looked like it was going to go. Oh, technical timeout.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no, it's not happened again, is it?
Not another spill.
Surely not Isaac.
I can't see because referee's in the way, but he was looking to the floor for something. What's happened here? I don't see any liquids.
Right, no water. Maybe just a raw technical issue on this one.
I have to get Glowiing on the case. Just pops in. Hey, there's a spillage.
Don't worry, I won't talk during the pause. I'm just going to mop this up quick for you. Right, okay. Looks like it's fixed. Headset back on. Maybe just a minor issue there. Something getting pulled a little bit, potentially. Love hearts in the spawn, but no love on the server between these two. It's all for survival. Got to win this game and then keep your eyes honed in on the other results that are coming through over the course of the day to see whether or not you make it in that 6th place or have to play out the 7th place decider. Investment into the pistol is going to be the HE for Yocab, Incendiary for Isaac. Smokes for the setup with Flashbang supporting that here from Xiaofi and Diladez with the core of the squad grouping up for a Palace pop on the run out.
All the sound cues have been cut, but they're about to be ripped back open again. Smoke's now being deployed, 2 of them. Blocking off the jungle and staircase. But 9 Pandas not fully committing just yet. They're about to make that explosion outside of Palace with a flashbang alongside it, but Wrinkle, even while Flash picks up 2. But now there's a flurry of frags back in 9 Pandas' favor. Diladez and Result getting the bomb planted down. Isaac needs to have impact over on CT's side, but he's in the car second best. It's Result that goes back in for a 2nd kill. And now Yocab, he's had a really good map so far, but that USP is going to need to be surgical to crack back open this site. to get him in with an opportunity to try and clutch out. The first kill is good, and there is the second. Yocab continues to twist the knife, twist the scalpel in the ribs of 9 Pandas as they'll go 8-5 in the lead.
16 kills to his name, a 1v2 attributed to him there, giving them an 8th round. It felt like they had done it. The crocodile tears from Resort's P250. But on the jump up towards ticket booth, no success. It all was started by Wrinkle as well. Beautiful double up for him. And with time ticking away, Yocab hits some beautiful shots, down to his last 2 bullets on that one, but still hitting it heavy. Whole team firing him up, absolutely ballistic scenes.
Such a good confidence builder, but Dilladez is going to try and shatter that mantle as soon as possible, and it's a really good kill at range with a Galil. Wrinkle goes down. Mid-control not quite established as NiP quickly rummage up close and try and scarper into a crossfire with Yocab and Rez. Once that smoke clears though, Rez will be cognizant of an underpass push. Now we know it's not forthcoming, but NiP aren't sure about this right now. Very passive from 9 Pandas. You can see them looking at the extremities. They're anticipating a push. They think NiP are getting aggressive in this round, but it's not the case.
Slow it right down, play for the choke points. 2 players set up there, round towards connector. Peek out from short side as well from Yocab. 50 seconds left on the clock. You're going to be walking down, missed them, ready with the A1S. As soon as you peek in, you better hope you find those quick kills. Nice, glowing, gory on the Galil. Excellence in the round. 1 by 1, every encounter is a W for them. And Isaac is all that remains, with no room to really find impact or get anything from this. The bomb's going to be going down. 9 Pandas taking their 6th on the T side.
And all of the cries of elation and joy, jubilation after Yocab's slick 1v2 have now been suppressed. Because they realize it gave them a great advantage, but they have stumbled and fumbled it on the first hurdle. 9 Pandas into a really good position now. Like, you're looking at just to save on this MP9, there really won't be much else to play with on NiP unless they go for a full-on investment with 5.7s, Deagles. That's about as good as they're going to be able to muster here. Yeah, I mean, you're looking at double eco territory, so it will be a scraped together buy, but 9 Pandas will be feeling very confident about how their prospects in round 15 are looking right now.
Five sevens can still be worth their weight in gold, but it depends how they play it really here into the 15th. NiP have won some very strange rounds like this over the course of the series. Just don't count them out. Let's see what they've got. Rez with the moves, backed up by Wrinkle. Control the underpass with the rest of the players grouped up. They're going to get a read on this instantly, so they'll know if they can wrap off. Go for the setup towards the A site. Confirming no one's here. Smokes out on mid. They're starting to take a bit of space on ramp as well. Missed them tucks in. Wrap back for Shalfie. He can secure the bomb. They're just trying to clear this out. Make sure no one's hiding on the bomb site. Restrict vision. Out of smokes though. Just down to flashbangs and that one Molotov. 4 players on CT. Flash over the top for the peek here, but the MP9 supported with Wrinkle's 5.7. Right on top. Dilladez. Down and out. Rez on the flank found. M4 cold in the ground. They can grab that one, try and keep some of these weapons in play going into the next.
Yeah, exactly. You can run it back. You can have a do-over. They tried. They nearly found the gap to exploit. There was a rotational player in the form of Rez that got shut down at T-spawn. Oh, if Glowing pushes through the murder hole, it will live up to its name. He's going to get shut down from the side on Mistem, and that would be an upgraded Galil. So he decides better of it, and that certainly was the correct decision. So 8-7. Also really interesting comparatively how NiP are occupying these kind of like eco awkward force buy rounds as compared to 9 Pandas, who were in this position quite a few times And they were so passive, so default in how they set up time after time. And NiP already showing that they have no problems getting mega aggressive, you know, pushing B-apps, getting into underpass early on, getting up close on ramp and palace. I do wonder, as we continue on towards the bitter end of this map, if that's going to be something that they can pull out and maybe get a victory from further down the line. We'll have to wait and see. In terms of this round, though, they do run it back. 2-5-7 is almost an identical buy, but this time they do have the M4 on top of it. See if they can put it to use.
Missed them close on that ramp position. With a small veil of smoke restricting them from being able to run on in on this. Smoke over the top. Deep in connector. Looks like there could be a bit of a gap on that one for the peek in, so the 5-7's not repositioning off. Oh, it's actually on top. It looked awkward on the minimap, so they put an afro on connector, but it's not really going to restrict vision. glowiing now gets visual on this on the peek out. 1 for 1. MP9 feast, here's the swing, the setup you were waiting for. It missed them and he hits them. Swinging back, success with the MP9. It's all starting to go wrong for the Pandas, endangered in this round, and look at the position for Wrinkle. Oh, he's right on target. But the stopwatch could be a problem. Xiaofi, he spots him, lines it up with a Galil, takes a couple of shots. He can grab the gun. Only 33 seconds left on the timer for this one.
Exactly, and because even though he died, he saw both players, or at least he heard the first and got shot in the back from the second. And with the bomb down on ramp, they know it has to be A, so they can position accordingly. 2 players in shadow. This looks like it's the nuts position. This looks like it cannot lose from here on out, but maybe I spoke too soon. The 5-7 now comes in. Result nails it. Oh, they had 2 facing opportunities, but NiP squandered both. How have 9 Pandas managed to win that?
Felt like it had all gone wrong. At every turn, uncomfortable. The miss smoke, the fight for both of the SMGs. Missed them with a double up on the ramp. You catch your timing on the T-spawn flank of Rez. But boy, oh boy, that 5-7 not delivering at least there in the 1v2 on the tail end. 8-8, tied back up. Another pause going to be called in.
That feels like it might be more of a detox than anything else, man, because time was so low. They had 2 separate peaks, but it was slightly disjointed, but you still feel like one of them's going to win their duel. And then they had the 5-7, the ace up the sleeve. But it just didn't happen. Xiaofi was too quick. And we may very well look back to that round, Jackie, at the end of this game and say that was the moment where 9 Pandas really stepped it up. We talked about that Isaac clutch that got NiP back into Ancient. That might be the moment for 9 Pandas.
And that was the round we're singing about, still giving him his praises, his flowers for his performance there in the 1v2 on Ancient. But where's he been? Isaac, where you at? 3rd map and he's quiet. 3 kills only. Dilladez on a warpath through underpass. Rez trying to lock it down on the peak. Timing. It's got to back off, throws in the incendiary. Yokab runs back towards short side, tucks himself in so he can't get shot upside the head from the peak on the bench. Dilladez being very proactive with this. Molly deep. Keeps him trapped in position. He's got to go forward. A sliver of space he can tuck himself into. Re-smoke for the escape plan. HE right on target. 1 point of health. Living on borrowed time.
And Xiaofi collects. Oh, some really good Molotovs, though. You can see one in the window, one up in the ladder room, as you highlighted. But again, a 3rd consecutive round with a fast flank, but it's only as powerful as those that stand on the site. And Rez right now is made of sterner stuff. Losing no points of health, pulls out the USP, and it's more of the same. Rez with a hero play. 4 kills already, could be on for the ace. And Xiaofi on 29 is trying to play around the bench. But if it's not Rez that gets him, Mistim is in hot pursuit as well. Rez goes down. He has no idea as to where Mistim is, but Rez take a bow. That 4K was huge.
Rez the Rhino, ripping them a new one on contact towards the B-bomb side. Perfect placement, making it uncomfortable. And giving them a huge lifeline into the game. Beautiful kills. And the insurance policy will pay off. Missed them with the final pick. Smiles all round, screams for the team. He was a beast, but yeah, 100%.
Can confirm. Speaks only facts. You are right, though. Like, one of those players on NiP is not like the others. Everyone else is double digits, having moments of craziness and madness and clutches and entry frags. But Isaac has been a bit of a non-factor. Sure, he's playing over on the B site. It can be a rough one. But really highlighting it because we know he's capable of so much more. If he delivers on that prospect, I mean, it could be the difference maker. Balance not really having the impact either in this round. This could be a great moment to kick things off, though, but the flick is off. And he didn't go for the re-peek. There was a Palace player, but Result has been sent out of this round and now forces Balance away. He was playing off the idea of Result, maybe gets a kill, then he can go back into ramp and get a pick, but it's completely backfired as an option.
To start this round off, they snatch the crown from the king of Result in the Palace. And then in the brawl, it goes down to a real uncomfortable situation. Lesser weapons, but far more firepower in the battle of attrition. And missed them, just waiting for the walkout on the smoke. It's Dilladez holding for this, peering over the top, trying to get a read on the round. Good adjustment. Low HP for Wrinkle. He's got to play a passive angle, tucks himself in on the corner. A lot of noise being heard. Playing off the audio cues, doesn't want to over-egg it on the peak, wants to wait for just the right time to go for the swing back out. Could have the free pick. On to Dilladez and Wrinkle. A 4K with 6 health to his name.
Perfect. And trades up to the AWP additionally. Like, originally he was just playing, like you say, to be a nuisance, to be a nightmare. Like, you know someone's around the Palace area. As long as he doesn't show his hand, they're going to be focused one player over there. It allows the other two to come through. But as soon as he hears the plant and sees that his teammates aren't in position to deny it, that's where he feels like, okay, I've got to be the guy. I've got to be him for this round. And he really was. Oh, the economy for 9 Pandas as well, man. They got an AK and that's it. We even have Glocks on 3 players. Deagle for Dilladez. Managed to get up close on the chair, and also Dilladez making movements over on B-Apps. But he's not going to be given a chance. Isaac lights up the kill feed.
Fast swing past connector, visual contact there onto the back. That's the ticket booth set up with the AWP of Wrinkle. Resort on the cross isn't so lucky. Gives himself up and gives away another piece of the Panda squadron. One by one, just isolated kills, no room to trade off one another. And it all just keeps going wrong, peak after peak on connector side. Wrinkle finding these for free, an easy round for NiP up against the broken Pandas there. Third timeout going to be called in. NiP on 11 rounds. Third and final map here for survival to keep yourself in the runnings.
Love it, man. The way they're playing right now is so composed. 9 Pandas call their third timeout. And their final one. Getting towards the finish line. Now, obviously, the winner of this will not automatically progress through to the Major. They're going to have to wait it out for the rest of the games today. But what we do know is guaranteed, Jackie, is a loser of this is done. Major dream is over. You have to go again next time. 11-8. Galil and Scout as they fully invest into the round. 9 Pandas hanging by a thread, and Wrinkle getting aggressive in Palace. We'll see action sooner rather than later as the slow peek into his crosshair yields the first kill, and he dials it back to the site. They got the pick they were looking for.
The opening duels continue to support that this man is so quick on his feet, so fast with the picks. Takes control of Palace and postures back towards triple. So 9 Pandas down a man already. And with limited utility to play with going into the 20th. 2 of them down in underpass. Side disbalance with the Scout this time, supported by Dilladez. Pre-scoped up for no audio cue. They're trying to pull off this split push onto the site. Can they even realistically find a way in? That's the big question. Rez supporting Ringcorp. Advanced angle for Mistem as well, down towards the ramp. Deep smoke on Connector. Throws out the Molotov, trying to force him out if he's playing on the close angle. Now got to be more paranoid about where exactly they are. Smoke on the corner, Ringcorp keeps it locked in. They're walking through the smoke. He's trying to find his opportunity to strike. Oh no, Diladez, the jump up. He sends himself into the air, but they come crashing right back down in the round as NiP close that one with ease. 12 locked in, 1 away now.
Oh, the panic crept in. And death follows for 9 Pandas as the last round potentially of their tournament lives are going to be down to 2 MAC-10s, 2 Galils, and you can make it 3 MAC-10s. iDisbalance goes in for 1-2, so the run and gun potential is there, but NiP have built up a fortress on this CT side. They're going to be getting aggressive. Running down into underpass for the time being. They cut the sound cues. Don't want the cat player to hear what's about to happen. But considering how often NiP have gone for these long rotations round the back, there will be that little bit of doubt creeping in the back of 9 Pandas' heads, like, is it happening again?
Shrapnel all over mid-side. Damage done onto 2 players. Smoke up through Con. So chip damage already boding well, and an advanced angle being taken for Isaac, pushing the whole way up through the smoke, posting himself up on the settee. Wants to shut them down with the spray. There's only one. Nothing left on the round. 1 by 1, they get funneled into these AKs. And Diladez is the only man left standing. The Pandas are about to go extinct here in Shanghai as they've got nothing left to fight with. 13th round for NiP. They recover it, locking it down over the course of the series, 2-1. They move on to fight for another day to try and make the major.
And there you have it. NiP are the winners. 9 Pandas.